a máa switch around so ẹ lọ sí orí platform àtókù ẹ ká mú bọ́yìn sà. àmín. so bá ṣe ń bá ètò yẹn nìṣó ẹ má bínú ẹ̀ tí ẹ wà lórí Facebook tẹ́lẹ̀ mo switch around ni ìyẹn ni ó ṣe disconnect the right platform tẹ̀ mọ́ á wà ṣàlàyé alright I start ẹ padà ẹ má bínú I was not sure whether I was operating on the right platform so eléyìí right tẹ́lẹ̀ èyí tí mò ń lò tẹ́lẹ̀ right èmi mo ṣe mistake. Kí ni nǹkan tọ́mọ Yorùbá fẹ́ àná fẹ́ country wa àti pé ọ̀nà wo la fẹ́ gbà tí country náà máa fi wá sí ìmúṣẹ. Ẹ jẹ́ n padà sínú inú ilé lẹ́ǹkan sí gbogbo ẹni tó bá fẹ́ pè a máa fi nọ́mbà wa síta ìyẹn studio number tá a máa fi gba call. Ẹ jẹ́ n padà sọ́dọ̀ bàbá wa Ìbàdàn Olúyọ̀lé wọ́n ti náwó unmute ara yín sà.
Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀ olóòtú ẹ kúṣẹ́ náà.
Èmi nìyẹn.
Alálẹ̀ a máa dúró tì yín.
Láṣẹ Èdùmàrè.
Yorùbá gbogbo wa ọlọ́run á jẹ́ kó wá sí ìmúṣẹ láìpẹ́. Ẹ lè ṣe púpọ̀ pẹ̀lú tọ́píìkì tí ẹ gbé wá. And then pẹ̀lú àwọn oríṣiríṣi àtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ tí ẹ̀ ń gbà. So ló jẹ́ kí irú àwọn nǹkan báyẹn kó máa wáyé. Lótìtọ́ ìdátọ́nà dá ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ní wípé ká máa ní ẹ̀mí ìfọkàntán sí ẹni tí a bá pè ní aṣíwájú.
ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà níbí a máa disconnect ẹ má bínú Facebook méjì yẹn ló ń run at the same time ẹ má bínú ẹ lọ sórí the other one.
chief ti gba owó lágbájá kan ti gba owó ní èyí tó yẹ pé kò sẹ́ni bọ́dì tí ó lè fi ìdí ẹ̀ múlẹ̀ pé àwọn orí ibi tí owó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ àbí tí kankan ti ṣẹlẹ̀ kò sí yẹn rárá. Ṣé bàbá Professor Banji Akíntóyè pẹ̀lú éèjì wọn yẹn tí wọn ò sùn tí wọn ò wo
ìyẹn ọmọ kan àwọn kan.
tó tọ́ máa sọ pé wọn bàbá yẹn ti gbowó ni ní èjì wọn yẹn ṣé owó tán fẹ́ gbà ṣé ilé náà fẹ́ kọ́ ni àbí mọ́tò kan náà làwọn fẹ́ rà ní èjì yẹn sìn. Because àwọn èèyàn wọ́n kàn máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ àròjinlẹ̀ yẹn kò kí sí níbẹ̀. Wọ́n má bínú pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ pẹ̀lú tí má sọ̀rọ̀ tí ó lágbára. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ sọ pé ṣé President Bola Tinubu ṣé wọ́n lè rí nǹkan yẹn tó ṣe láàrin within 8 months.
Yeah, 18 months, 18 months, not 8 months.
18 months.
Yeah.
Ṣé rí ìgbà tí mo máa sọ wọn fáwọn tó wà ní around mi nígbà tí President Buhari tó wà lórí oyè.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Within 8 months, that was 2015.
Okay.
Àwọn èèyàn ní pé nǹkan yẹn ti bàjẹ́ gan-an. Ẹ fún láyè. Ẹ jẹ́ kó ṣiṣẹ́. Gbogbo àti máa fi lò 3-4 years. Gbogbo àwọn tó ń sọ pé ẹ fún láyè yẹn. Most of them wọn ò lè bọ́ síta láti wá vote fún wọn ní 2019.
Kí ló dé?
Because àwọn náà ti padà rí pé rẹ́rẹ́ ti run.
Okay.
Ẹ ti understand?
Àgbọ́yé.
So now níbi tí Nigeria wà of today.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni sà.
Mr. Koiki. Kò sí irú mírèkù kankan tí President Bola Tinubu tán fẹ́ give for masses.
Okay.
Fún the whole Nigeria.
Okay.
I understand.
Àgbọ́yé.
Gbogbo program Minister of Interior.
Okay.
I understand. Tó sọ pé ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ni fún òun tí òun ò bá lè upturn the Nigerian system. Ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ni fún òun.
Okay.
Pé but ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ pé ó máa dàbí pé Nàìjíríà tó ń bá táwọn bàbá òun inherit fún òun.
Okay.
Ó ti bàjẹ́.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a shame and a slap on him. Tóun bá wà ní position yẹn tóun wà lè give a better Nigeria fún àwọn ọmọ tí òun bá bí.
A better Nigeria.
You understand? ṣé tí òun bá ní good heart láti ṣe Nàìjíríà ṣé òun nìkan ló máa dá ṣe ni.
Okay. So,
understand.
Okay.
Now, news jáde sí pé ó ti wọ́n case ní Enugu àbí ṣé Imo ní.
Wọ́n ti ní IPOB kì í ṣe terrorist organization mọ̀ the same IPOB tó pè ní terrorist organization wọ́n ní wọ́n kì í ṣe terrorist organization mọ̀.
ẹ ti rí politics tó jáde sí. ẹ ti understand. ṣe rí lórí way forward mo sọ wọn kan lórí program mi lánàá pé màá sọ wọn kan lábẹ́ aṣọ.
Okay.
You understand?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Bóyá kí n kàn brief nǹkan kékeré ń bí báyìí. Ṣé rí èmi fẹ́ wò pé àwọn tó ń bá bàbá ṣiṣẹ́. Iṣẹ́ wọn náà ó ṣe pé.
Bàbá ò lẹ́ ń sọ yẹn ṣé bàbá Akíntóyè.
Bàbá Akíntóyè.
Okay.
What's it called? The management office.
Dr. Kebe Orun kò sí.
So àwọn yẹn. Àwọn ṣeré Nàìjíríà mo understand Nàìjíríà pé one way traffic ni wọ́n. Tó ń bá ti rí one public figure kan àbẹ̀lẹ̀ kan tó ní àìdíà kan àbẹ̀ anything. You understand? Wọ́n ready láti tẹ̀lé fully ibi tó bá dà wọ́n lọ wọ́n ready láti lọ. Ṣé rí àwọn ọmọkọ Yorùbá kan wà tẹ́ pé ó wà influential gan ní Nàìjíríà. Tí ọ́fíìsì àwọn bàbá tó bá lè bá àwọn people yìí tó bá lè bá wọn ní a very cordial relationship and meeting together pẹ̀lú wọn. These are the people tó yẹ pé they have minimum of 3-4 million followers lórí page wọn. I understand. Tó bá àwọn people yìí wọn ò tí ì ní anything láti lè show online pé àwọn ò sí pẹ̀lú Nàìjíríà. By the time the mega rally or anything bá máa jáde.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Maybe 2 or 3 days. Now people about to work around Baba. You understand?
Yeah.
Just make one flyers or one tweet or anything. Lórí page one last one. Within 3 days, anything Bama share, Oma control mindset àwọn èèyàn.
Okay.
That kind of thing, Oma cause controversy going online to the extent that by the time the rally Bama take off bad. You understand? Amari enough people to máa jáde because at this end àwọn èèyàn tẹ́ bá understand bí àwọn èèyàn ṣe ń suffer ìgbélé gan but kò kàn sí nǹkan tó máa jíjà àwọn èèyàn. But tí underground iṣẹ́ yẹn bá ti ń lọ so a ti ní àwọn tó ní followers kan tẹ́ pé wọ́n lè control mindset àwọn èèyàn within 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 days in a day.
Okay.
That kind of idea. Taking about give another idea need talks. You understand?
Yeah.
And it's going to be another way out.
Okay.
Added advantage for struggle.
Okay. Thank you so much. Moki. Ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa wà tí ẹ ti ń gbọ́ wa òun náà ni wọ́n ti ń bá wa dá sí ìjẹ́ yìí náà fi dá sí ẹ wọnú Zoom link yẹn kẹwàá bá wa dá sí àbí kí ẹ fi kọ́mẹ́ǹtì yín síbẹ̀ kájọ kà síta. Bàbá wa Samuel Ajibola ni we want our Yoruba sovereign nation now, but to secure a viable nation we have to support this present political dispensation in order to achieve our goals. Remember that there must be a consensus. So that is another person's views on this particular conversation. Everybody might need different opinion. The question is, what happened after this government? Ṣégbà yẹn lè máa mú ìjà wá àbí nísìn tí opportunity ṣì wà fún wa láti continue our campaign and engagement towards the Yoruba nation. Èwo gangan lẹ fẹ́ nínú gbogbo ẹ̀? mo kí bàbá mi awófájì mi adékúnlé fáwòye ẹ kú gbogbo gbà. ìjọba yìí ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ báyìí látàná nítorí pé Supreme Court ti sọ pé òun ló wọlé. ẹ jẹ́ ń yọ kíní tí mo fi sétí kúrò because tó ń jẹ́ kétí mi máa lọ kọ́ikọ́i. àrà oríṣiríṣi la máa ń dá pẹ̀lú mídíà, ọ̀nà tó bá wù mí mo lè gbégbà. tẹ́ bá lọ sórí Instagram bíi fire ló wà níbẹ̀. mo máa ka èyí tí mo kà láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ again fáǹfààní ẹni tí kò tí gbọ́ tẹ́lẹ̀. orúkọ tèmi ni Ọláyọmí Kóìkì. This is the first time I'm linking my Zoom into, I'm going to be having more Zoom now because £15 ń gbà lọ́wọ́ mi ní every month. Dẹ̀ ń lò púpọ̀, so a máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń lò dáadáa nísìn. So I will have a lot of Zoom engagement. ìgbà míì a máa ṣe Zoom míì tí kò ní go live. moment tó wà ta ní iPhone yìí because a fẹ́ mọ ẹni tó wà within the iPhone. ẹ bá wa unmute ara yín sà àbí mà. ìyá wa Mọ́súnmọ́lá a máa ní ká disconnect yín bí ẹ máa ní láti tún wọlé padà because àgbọ̀ yín ẹ̀yin náà rẹ̀ gbọ́ wa and it could be anybody in there. I need to know who is in there, so a máa remove yín kẹ́ tún wọlé padà, ẹ má bínú mà. àdẹ̀ ní report yín sí Zoom akọ̀máyọ yín ni. ta ló wà lórí iPhone yẹn ẹ bá wa unmute. mo fẹ́ ghost nínú conversation yìí. I would rather not have anybody. mo ń bọ̀ Ìbàdàn Olúyọ̀lé lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ta ló wà nínú iPhone. mo ti ní kẹ́ unmute màá fún yín ní time because ó lè difficult tó bá jáwọn àgbàlagbà ló wà níbẹ̀. after 10 minutes tàbá ti ní kẹ́ unmute a máa disconnect yín kúrò because ó lè já àwọn 2x2 àwọn ìyàbọ̀ bastard yẹn. ó lè jẹ́ ìjìnlẹ̀ ló rányàn wá kó wá jókòó sínú bíbá. I don't want anybody to come and sit here. I want engagement. mo kẹ́yìn tẹ́ wà lórí TikTok ṣé ń gbádùn mi bóyìnbó ṣe ń gbádùn sìgá. mo kíyà mi Aya Alápò Àfọlábí ẹ káàbọ̀. mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. ẹ máa wọ́ndà pé ń bolojú mi wà bí ó kúkú wà ń bẹ̀. ìbéèrè tó jẹyọ ni pé Tinubu ti débẹ̀ nísìn ara ẹ̀rọ gbọ̀n tó dìbò báyìí kódà wọ́n ní ẹ lè celebrate. bèbí kan sọ̀rọ̀ ní orí ó send video ẹ̀ sí mi. ó ní kódà àwọn èèyàn lè jubilate nígbà tẹ́ ẹ̀ ní energy. ebi ò jẹ́ kẹ́ jubilate. ẹ hàn pé tẹ́lẹ̀ tó bá yẹ pé bí Tinubu ṣe wọlé yẹn ó yẹ kí gbogbo yín jubilate. wọ́n náà lè jubilate because kò sówó níta ẹnu dẹ̀ ti gbẹ báyìí. Nàìjíríà mo ti mọ ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn pé wọ́n ní ẹnu gbẹ. gbogbo àwọn èèyàn ní ẹnu gbẹ. bó ṣe ń pa ọmọ kékeré ló ń pa àgbàlagbà Nàìjíríà báyìí kọ́lọ́n kó ṣàánú. bèbí kan ni wọ́n fárun abẹ́ lọ pàdánù ní Port Harcourt wọ́n ti fi ṣe money ritual. Ọlọ́run ọba Elédùmarè kó wà pẹ̀lẹ́yìn tí ẹ wà ń lé kó máa bá fi ṣọ́ ẹ̀ṣọ́ yín. That's the only thing we can say. àwa ní kankan ta fẹ́ fún yín ju pé kọ́lọ́run máa fi ṣọ́ ẹ̀ṣọ́ yín lọ. So because Nigeria is really in a big mess. So lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí a ṣe wà lórí ètò náà. a ṣe ń bá ètò yẹn lọ bó ṣe jẹ́ kó máa lọ náà. Tinubu fúnra rẹ̀ gan báyìí nísìn á sùn dọ́kàn àmọ́ ǹjẹ́ ohun tó náà máa ṣe fún yín ǹjọ́ máa ṣe òun ni question tí mò ń bi yín báyìí. My name is Ọláyọmí Kóìkì and this is your finest broadcasting platform for Yoruba Nation. As we continue the campaign trail, àwa ní kọ́kọ́ la wá ń campaign pa fẹ́ kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà. báwa náà ṣe ń campaign làwọn ọmọ Scotland náà campaign. Tinubu náà fẹ́ fix Nàìjíríà ǹjọ́ possible? ǹjọ́ ó lè rí fix? Many Nigerians believe that Tinubu can fix Nigeria. ṣé wọn náà wà lára àwọn tó feel bẹ́ẹ̀ pé ìjọba ilé fix Nigeria? Are you sure? Okay, City Boy ní I am the iPhone but I am driving now. Okay, no problem. ẹ ṣé gan ni ẹ má tó táìpù mọ́ bí wọ́n bá ń drive gbọ́dọ̀ táìpù o ọlọ́run já rí àkóbá ìdàbà o kí wọ́n má sọ pé Koiki Media lẹ́ ń gbọ́ lẹ́ lọ́n táìpù o. Do not type and drive. You could lose concentration and it could cause a fatal accident. Tàbá dẹ̀ ń ṣe investigation ta lórí iṣu tí mo jẹ iṣu àtẹ̀yìn ṣe gbádùn ẹ̀ ta ló láìkí iṣu àtẹ̀yìn tí mo gbé sórí social media. Mo kí bàbá mi Kẹ́hìndé Òsénì. Ẹ jẹ́ n kọ́kọ́ play fídíò yìí bèbí kan náà ni ṣe mic mi ti ṣe speaker mi ti wà on mo ní mic ṣe speaker ti wà on. Mo kí bàbá Akíntóyè mo dẹ̀ kí Chief Bánjí Ayélóge. Ẹ jẹ́ àjọ gbọ́ fídíò yìí mo gbẹ́ kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Paris ẹ jẹ́ àjọ gbọ́n kan tí arábìnrin yìí sọ ẹ jẹ́ àkọ́kọ́ gbọ́ Tinubu náà.
Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I understand the hardship you face.
Tinubu no understand that ship yẹn.
There were other ways, but there's not.
Charlie! Wàhálà dé o.
Wàhálà dé o. Wàhálà dé. Tinubu ṣe sùn.
Gbogbo àwọn lọ́dẹ.
Mo kí bàbá wa chief man. Ta ló like àwọn oúnjẹ tí mo gbé jáde ní ẹ̀ní ẹja play voice yẹn jáde.
Èmi ló kàn bàbá èmi ló kàn èmi ló kàn bàbá èmi ló.
Ṣé kí n lọ release the track? Báwo lẹ rò pé ṣé sound mi dá kí n lọ release the track? Ṣé kí n ṣe track? Ṣé like track tí mo ṣe láàárọ̀ yìí? Èmi ló kàn ó dà pé voice mi ò jáde bíi ti Davido. Èmi ló kàn bàbá èmi ló kàn. Ta ló like iṣu àtẹ̀yìn yẹn? Ó yẹ kó ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀.
Ẹ ṣáà make sure pé ẹ̀ ń rí iṣu jẹ ẹ̀ dẹ̀ ń jẹyin ọba lè bẹ ṣe ọbẹ̀ ata náà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ kò yẹ nísìn. Èmi ló kàn pẹ̀lú corn beef bàbá èmi ló kàn. This is my own lunch. Ìní ní 27 àbí Friday Jímọ̀ Olóyin. Jimoh Oloyin, continue to be saying you don't want Yoruba nation as long as you are also enjoying, in your own Nigeria. No problem. Farmers must be able to go to farm. I don't want to make my egg follow. No. We don't want Yoruba nation. We want Nigeria. I no go fit chop this one. This one don't go. I love the corn beef stew, and I go come warm am with apple juice. Èló ló ń taṣu nísìn ní Nigeria. Èló ló ń taṣu. Continue to be saying you don't want Yoruba nation. You campaign. We told you don't campaign for any election again in Nigeria. Nigeria is not working. You say, "Èmi ló kàn, bàbá mi ló kàn." Come and join me. Join me, Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. This is my own brunch. I'll come back for this later again. Then later, I still get plenty. Èmi ló kàn. Ó dẹ̀ ti kàn báyìí o. So make sure that Tinubu is able to stabilize the economy for the next 4 years so that every household can be able to eat 3 square meal, security, intact, welfare, education, and everything will be fine. No problem.
No problem. Ẹ jẹ́ n lọ sọ́dọ̀ bàbá mi Ìbàdàn Olúyọ̀lé. Mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá káàkiri gbogbo ibi tí ẹ bá ti ń wò mí tí ẹ ti ń gbọ́ mi. Mo kí gbogbo wa pé ẹ káàbọ̀. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá fẹ́ líǹkì Zoom yẹn ó wà lórí social media. Link yẹn máa wà available. A máa ṣe Zoom link nísìnyí because mo lè máa san £15 every month ká má rí lò. Ẹgbọ́n sókè bàbá wa Ìbàdàn Olúyọ̀lé ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá. Aláwọ̀ bàbá ní e go reach stage of M1 wàláì èmi mo tẹ́ gbàdúrà pé ká má dé M1 ojoojúmọ́ ni mò ń gbàdúrà pé kó dé M1 wàláì ìgbà tó kọ̀ máa dé láàmọ́ ni ẹni tó bá mọ M1 ẹni tó bá ń béèrè a kì í repeat ẹ̀ mọ́ torí bíbà yìí a fẹ́ violent ní bíbà yìí bíbà yìí nìkan ni kò sí violent à ń ṣe violent níbí àbí kílẹ̀ ni mo wí bàbá mi Ìbàdàn Olúyọ̀lé.
Kò sí violent.
Kò sí violent.
Wọ́n ní ọ̀rọ̀ létí ikú ń gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ làwọn èèyàn wa máa gbọ́
àwọn tó gbọ́
ọ̀rọ̀ ló ń yọ bìlápò ọ̀rọ̀ ló ń yọ apó.
mo dúpẹ́ pé mo lérò àwọn ará Ìbàdàn báyìí tó yẹ pé ẹnu wọn dá ṣáká rí bó ṣe bá mi ná bó ṣe bá ná níbẹ̀ pé mi ò gbọ́ Yorùbá dáadáa. Eunice Uche àwọn Biafra mo kí ẹ délédélé ẹ má bínú bàbá mi Olúyọ̀lé ìyàn kan tẹ̀ ní ìyàn kan ti gbá sí fún mi nígbà tí mo parí program tán ó ní kí ló ṣe mi àtàwọn Biafra ó ní mi dẹ̀ máa bú Tinubu mo ní bomb basta mo blọ́ọ̀kì wèrè mo ní ìwọ́tẹ̀ tó wà lórí status mi lórí fóònù ó máa láyé àgbọn kẹ bomb basta ẹgbọ́n sókè jàre Olúyọ̀lé Ìbàdàn Olúyọ̀lé.
kò sí bá ṣe máa ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ náà la máa bá àwọn èèyàn wa sọ.
ok ṣé pé kò gbọ́dọ̀ sú wa a gbọ́dọ̀ máa sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn náà kò gbọ́dọ̀ sú wa.
kò lè sú wa.
ok
kò lè sú wa kò ní rẹwà. ìyàwó àgbàdúrà ni pé Ọlọ́run fún wa ní oore ọ̀fẹ́. energy la máa fi push àwọn èèyàn.
mo like ibẹ̀ yẹn energy yẹn ó wà important.
energy la máa fi push àwọn èèyàn.
ok kọ́lọ́n kó fún wa strength yẹn ó dẹ̀ wà important ká ní strength kọ́ni tó bá ní strength kò lè ṣe nǹkan kan.
ṣe rí àwọn kankan máa ń wà tó yẹ pé àwọn èèyàn wa. torí pé bí Ọlọ́run ṣe ṣẹ̀dá àwa Yorùbá ni pé àwa individual entrepreneurship àwa individual talented tó yẹ pé a believe pé okay nǹkan tí bá ṣe fún ara mi I can do it on myself.
Okay.
I'll be able to put something on the table for my immediate family. If at all, bóyá extended family ò tẹ̀ ní orí ọ̀fẹ́ láti benefit in them.
Okay.
So ìyẹn ló máa ń jẹ́ ká wò pé Nàìjíríà ṣì máa dà.
Okay.
Gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì tó wà ń bẹ̀ mo gbọ́ nǹkan tí view tẹ́nìkan sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan tẹ́ ká síta rẹ̀ pé ìjọba tábà fẹ́ get our own independent sovereign union pé a gbọ́dọ̀ engage nínú the present government.
Okay.
Government tó ti ń wá ní Nàìjíríà látọdún nǹkan. So are they not the same Nigeria?
Okay.
Buhari tó lọ ọdún mẹ́jọ ṣé kò kí ṣe the same political party yìí tí president wọ̀nyí ràn ló gbé Buhari débẹ̀. But àwọn èèyàn wa máa ní Buhari yàtọ̀ Tinubu lélẹ̀. But this same Tinubu òun ló ta Buhari fún wa náà.
So tí bá gbọ́ yín dáadáa so that means pé it's still the same government even though pé olórí ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ni.
ṣé the same manifesto kọ́ ni party wọn ni ṣó máa yàtọ̀ ni.
Okay.
Ó lè yàtọ̀ náà. The party chairman ṣé kò kí ṣe Gandolá tó ń sọ pé owó ẹ̀ ò mọ̀ ó kọ́ the party chairman ni.
ẹ parọ́.
wọ́n ní ìmí kékeré lórí àwo létí àwo tí ojú bá kúrò ń bẹ̀ ṣé ọkàn máa kúrò ń bẹ̀. Ọmọ wa ní Tinubu nǹkan kan ìtàn ti ṣe látẹ̀yìn ọkàn máa sọ fún wa náà. Gbogbo ala máa gbọ́ ló máa wà nínú brain wa. Now 100 days máa pé sìn àwọn ọmọ ọ̀dẹ̀ celebrate ẹ̀.
Kí ló dé?
Inú dídùn ni móríyá wà.
Inú dídùn ló móríyá wà.
Inú dídùn ló móríyá wà. Tínú àwọn èèyàn bá dùn ṣé Àbújá nìkan náà ti máa celebrate ni.
So that sọ nísìnyí pé inú àwọn èèyàn dùn báyìí.
Ibo ni náà àwọn èèyàn ti máa dùn.
ẹ̀dẹ̀ ṣọ́pẹ̀lẹ̀ evidence abẹ́kan sọ ni.
Presently kò báyìí ní last month mo ka news pé a whole usage a teaching hospital. Pé kò sí náà níbẹ̀ for almost 2 weeks. Blackout náà wà all through a whole teaching hospital. Kí ló fẹ́ cost irú àwọn hospital yẹn kó má jẹ́ pé àwọn gbogbo wọn ti ń generate electricity fún ara wọn. Wọ́n ní àwọn NEPA wọ́n lọ gé náà wọn.
Mo tẹ̀ ń wo ìyá mi àṣà ti ṣe lánàá táwọn polytechnic kan complain pé àwọn olówó láti máa fi fuel diesel kankan mọ́ something like that.
Bó ṣe ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní gbogbo institution ní Nàìjíríà ni.
Ìlọ kan bàbá mi.
Mo gbádùn yín ẹ má bínú.
Ṣé ìyẹn la máa continue.
Sọ fuel as.
nígbà tí àwọn ọmọ
Okay.
tó ń mú
mi lọ kan.
Muyin.
ẹgbẹ́ ọmọ sójú platform yìí ọmọ 14 years old
Ọlọ́run tí mo fẹ́.
tó dictate tó ṣe soap tó lè cure cancer
Yeah.
lórí platform yìí kò kí ń ṣe ọmọ US o
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
immigrant ni o
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Èmi náà rí bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹ.
ṣé tí lóyún ọba fún ní platform tó máa help ọmọ 14 years old tó fún ní tó make provision fún gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tó need ṣé wọ́n lè rí kan yẹn pick nínú brain ẹ̀ àbí ṣé nǹkan kan lè ní time ẹ lọ wo àwọn ọmọ 14 years back home ní Nàìjíríà wọ́n wà níbi tí wọ́n ti tọrọ tó yẹ pé kò sí sound education kò sí anything kò sí bí tí parent gan wọn wà financial stable láti lè láwọn fẹ́ rán ọmọ lọ sí a very good school àwọn ọmọ olówó nìkan ló lè rán ọmọ lọ sí good school why everything gbọ́dọ̀ wà surrounding pé olówó nìkan it shouldn't be.
Okay.
Because at least ìtì pẹ̀lú orí ọ̀fẹ́ téèyàn ní nǹkan tó ń pè nílùú ni pé nọ́ọ̀lì olówó máa wà bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n fún kálukú náà lè jẹun oúnjẹ mẹ́ta tí kò ní lè wo ẹni tó wà ní ilé kejì ẹ̀ pé kí ló ń jẹ. Tádé lè provide níwọ̀nba Tádé lè provide fọmọ títí ẹ̀ náà.
Okay.
Now ní àwọn advanced country.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni sir.
Ibi tó bá ń gbé environment ẹ̀ lọ́mọ ẹ̀ máa ti lọ sí school.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Kò wọ́n tẹ expect pé kò gbọ́dọ̀ ju 10 minutes. Ó pẹ́ jù nìyẹn. Ibi tó bá ń gbé ọmọ ẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ wà 10 minutes away from the school. Ó pẹ́ jù àrírú ẹ̀ rí. Torí pé wọ́n expect pé kọ́mọ yẹn lè tètè dé school kó má máa ní ó pẹ́ gan. Wọ́n expect pé even gan normally gan sef it should be just like a walking distance. A walking distance.
Nàìjíríà lè ti máa rí tó ń gbé mainland tó máa bá lọ school ní island. In the name of pé school tó better tó ń fẹ́ jẹ́ kọ́mọ òun kó lọ ibi tó wà nìyẹn. Kò ní mind stress in the morning, stress in the evening.
Kọ́mọ yẹn tó dé school kan á ti máa sùn. Oorun á ti máa kùn gan sẹ̀ kó tó dé school. Yeah. Láti tètè dé school. Kò dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ rí bẹ́ẹ̀ kò yẹ kó máa rí bẹ́ẹ̀.
Ní late night. In the name of prayer school because standard school yẹn kò gbé tọ standard ti wọn gbọmọ fún ara wọn.
Sọ̀wọ́ láti lọ sọ́nà tó jìn.
Wọ́n láti lọ sọ́nà jíjìn they won't mind that stress passing through that stress.
Wàá máa jí ọmọ yẹn láti bíi 4 o'clock lóru kọ́mọ yẹn máa fi dé school bá máa sùn ní bẹ́ẹ̀ tó jẹ̀bà láàárọ̀.
I understand. Ìjọ wo la fẹ́ ṣe yẹn dà? Ìjọ wo la fẹ́ ṣe yẹn dà? Ó máa dá. Ṣerú life tí àwọn ọmọ president wa yẹn ṣerú life táwọn yẹn ti tọ́ lè yẹn.
Okay.
But ẹ mọ̀ tí nǹkan mọ̀ pé tí nǹkan bá ti dojú ẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà. Àwọn èèyàn wọn kì í yíjú padà. Ó ti fẹ́ débẹ̀ tán.
So kí ló ń fà á tí àwọn èèyàn fi dá sọ̀rọ̀ movement yìí? Kí ni wọ́n ń rí? Because gbogbo pé wọ́n máa ní wọ̀gbọ́n yẹn èmi ò believe ẹ̀ irọ́ ni.
Àwọn èèyàn ń gbọ́.
Gbogbo pé wọ́n máa ní wọ̀gbọ́n Yorùbá nation is all lies. Ó kọ́ ẹ pé a kàn ní láti intensify mọ́ lórí.
Ibi tẹ́ ti máa mọ̀ páwọn èèyàn ń gbọ́. Ìyẹn ẹ̀kan sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀kan lọ lo page kan that has to do with Yorùbá nation or anything agitation. You understand? Lórí àwọn platform yẹn ẹ máa rí báwọn èèyàn ṣe máa attack yín àwọn tẹ́ ẹ̀ expect gan ló máa padà reply message tẹ̀lé bá tà kẹ́ẹ̀kan pújọba yẹn.
Okay.
Kó jẹ́ pé lórí page yín ẹ̀kan lọ graphic ní Yorùbá nation ẹ̀kan sọ̀rọ̀ against the present government.
Okay.
Ẹ máa rí báwọn èèyàn ṣe máa attack yín. So àwọn tẹ́ ẹ̀ expect gan so definitely they know what is going on. lórí Clubhouse oríṣiríṣi page ló wà lórí Yorùbá Nation.
mo gbọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ yeah mo gbọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ yeah.
Oríṣiríṣi page both home and abroad, many platforms only mo máa join, so I want to hear people view èrò pọ̀ gan, but ní tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ilé presently aṣíwájú ogun náà wà o.
Okay.
Aṣíwájú ogun náà wà. Mo dẹ̀ believe pé time tí Tinubu wà ń bẹ̀ yìí ni mo believe pé àwa gangan a níṣẹ́ láti ṣe.
Okay.
Because after Tinubu ìyá yìí tún máa jù báyìí lọ.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni ọ̀dà a ṣì ń bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ yín ẹ já wá sọ́dọ̀ okay ọ̀dà pọ̀ ẹ já lọ sọ́dọ̀ Mr. Adams Ọlámilékan ẹ bá gbóhùn sókè ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Samuel Ajíbọ́lá wọ́n tún ní we shouldn't forget that Yoruba nation struggle was never highlighted as much as it did until Buhari started his wicked campaign against humanity. I would disagree with that. And I'm going to tell you why after this ẹni bá sọ̀rọ̀ tó lórí Twitter space. It has nothing to do with ìgbà tí Buhari dé àbí ìgbà tí Buhari bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí tẹ́ bá lọ I don't think many of you knew where we started, especially after tí àwọn baba Akintoye tí wọ́n ń ṣe ètò yẹn nísàlẹ̀ wọ́n ti sọ fún gbogbo wọn tẹ́lẹ̀ pé wọ́n ò ní fún wọn ní restructure. Àwọn Afẹ́nifẹ́re ni wọ́n refuse láti come on board. Wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ pé ẹ̀wọ̀n kí èmi rí bàbá Afẹ́nifẹ́re and I'm talking from ntí mo gbọ́ lẹ́nu wọn, not beer parlour conversation. Wọ́n ní Yorùbá nation tí Buhari ò bá ti restructure Nigeria, there's nothing wrong in Yorùbá nation. So Yorùbá nation has nothing to do pẹ̀lú pé Buhari was bringing his Fulani clan. It was just that they were Baba Akintoye foresee, not foresaw, kí má tàbọn mo kí ìyá mi Baba Akintoye foresee pé the likely pé wọ́n máa fún wọn ní restructure Nigeria kò ní ṣẹlẹ̀. I hope you get me Mr. Samuel Ajibola. So kò ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú pé Buhari ń pa wá àbí Fúlàní pa wá. Restructure náà àwọn Afẹ́nifẹ́re dúró lé lórí for almost 24 years. And that is why even if Afẹ́nifẹ́re is divided, àwọn ti fashion tí wà níbẹ̀ àtàwọn ti Baba Adébánjọ. So Yorùbá nation was just brought on board to tell us that we are better off to even exit than even be talking about restructure. Tẹ́bádẹ́ sọ pé agree pẹ̀lú that perspective. I have a video that backs it up. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n play video ẹ̀gbọ́n mi George Akínọlá. Play anthem wa. Àwọn ọmọ mi kan dẹ̀ máa rán mi létí nísìnyí pé Koiki ò tún play anthem. Àwọn èèyàn máa rò pé tó bá ń play anthem ẹ ti fẹ́ parí ètò ni. Ẹ gbọ́ fídíò yìí Mr. Ajibola. This video tí mo fẹ́ play ó ní full clip but short version ẹ̀ la máa ń play all the time. Àwọn pè mo ṣe ní níbí ìbáṣà tí n bá ní máa lọ mú jáde ó wà lórí archive mi. Níbi tí àwọn that was in 2017 o. 2017 ní Adamasingba lọ ní Yorùbá are better off to be on their own. Màá wá fídíò yẹn jáde ẹja lọ sọ́dọ̀ Mr. kí ló dé tẹ̀ ń jáde tẹ̀ ń wọlé Mr. Adam Ọlámilékan we keep bringing you on board and you keep coming out. Ṣé network yín ni? Hello ẹgbọ́n sókè. Ẹ ti mute ara yín Mr. Adam Ọlámilékan. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò wa.
Yes. Ẹ kú ètò náà.
Ètò nìyẹn.
Ṣé rí tá a bá ní pawọ́ fún àwa lápẹ̀jọba?
Yeah, foresee, yeah.
Àtàwọn èmi ló kàn.
Okay.
Àtàwọn èmi ló kàn.
Foresaw is the past tense of foresee. So Baba Akintoye foresaw, the future. So àwọn rí future ni lọ́ ṣe pull out kúrò pẹ̀lú àwọn Afẹ́nifẹ́re pé intẹ́ ń béèrè fún yìí. Baba ẹ má bínú Mr. Adam Baba Adébánjọ máa ń bínú pé Baba Buhari làwọn bá ṣe. He keep using that phrase all the time. There was a lot of questions I asked him and there are some that like I always say is not for public consumption. Ẹgbọ́n sókè mo gbọ́ yín.
Ṣé rí pé Tinubu máa ṣe ó máa dismantle Nigeria in that kind of
Okay, kí ni reason that you sọ bẹ́ẹ̀?
láyé
mo ń gbọ́ yín sà.
olórí ilé tó máa gbàdúrà kí lè dà lórí òun kò possible.
Okay.
Àwa Yorùbá àwọn tó wà nílé àwọn Yorùbá tó wà nílé nìkan ló ń ṣe wá ni pé aláfaradà.
A ní àfaradà. Okay.
A ní àfaradà púpọ̀ jù. Àyímọ́ kì í pọlọ́kọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ó ti wá di pé dandan ni kò jìyà dandan ni kò ṣẹrú.
Okay.
mo wà lórí Twitter ó láwọn platform tí mo máa ń gbọ́ tí mo máa ń wò tó máa ń wà space mo rí most of àwọn èèyàn wa tó wà labroad ẹlòmíì kan dàgbà ní wàhálà kò ní òní kankan.
Okay, mo ń bọ̀ lọ́yìn kan sí bàbá mi Olúyọ̀lé wọ́n ní kí n sọ fún ẹni tó ń sọ pé ìgbà tí Buhari débẹ̀ wọ́n náà wọ́n wà ní Adámàsìgbà ibo ni mẹ́sẹ̀gì yẹn wà àwọn wà ní Adámàsìgbà níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn wọ́n ní I could remember that the summit at Adámàsìgbà because our forum was delivered and our view to Baba Fẹ́ Babalọ́lá so that means pé wọ́n ti sọ fún gbogbo àwọn Baba Fẹ́ Babalọ́lá yẹn nípa Yorùbá nation to start on its own but àwọn Baba Fẹ́ Babalọ́lá inú Nàìjíríà ni gbogbo wọn ti ń jẹ so wọ́n ní mo lè enter studio pé music mi yẹn ó wà òkè gan bàbá mi ló kàn èmi náà máa ṣe music nìyẹn ẹgbọ́n sókè mò ń gbádùn yín Mr. Dam Ọlámilékan ẹ má bínú sà.
kẹ́rí gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n rò pé wọ́n máa sọ̀rọ̀ jáde tó máa sọ̀rọ̀ tó yẹ kó ní tó lọ́pọlọ tó ní làákàyè.
mo máa ń gbádùn ẹ̀gbọ́n mi tó ń drive yìí kẹ́ mọ́tò ò lẹ́ ń gùn yìí pẹ̀lú glasses yìí.
àwọn tó wà ń bẹ̀ àwọn àgbà tí ò lọ́pọlọ tí wọn ò ronú rárá àti rárá ni.
mo ń gbádùn yín.
pẹ̀lú kan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Nàìjíríà yìí.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni sà.
tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ sáwọn èèyàn tó wà nílé kẹ́nìkan tún wá máa wò pé bóyá ẹnìkan lè débẹ̀ tó lè tún ṣe látọdún mélòó wọ́n tún lè tún ṣe. àwọn àgbà tó jókòó tó ń sọ pé àgbà tó bá jókòó ohun tó bá rí.
bọ̀ ṣé ẹni sùúrù mo kàn fẹ́ play devil advocate ni o bọ̀ tó bá sọ pé àwọn tó ń ṣe yẹn àwọn málà ni eléyìí Tinubu ló ń ṣe nísìn ó yàtọ̀ sí málà because Tinubu kì í ṣe málà Yorùbá ni òun ní brain ju àwọn málà lọ kí lẹ máa sọ sí yẹn.
kò sí ọpọlọ tí bàbá Tinubu lè ní lórí ètò Nàìjíríà.
ok kò sí ọpọlọ.
kò sí ọpọlọ tí wọ́n lè ní ṣé ọpọlọ tí wọ́n ní tó fẹ́ fi ṣe Nàìjíríà yẹn kán fi wá kó ara kán fi kó àwa ọmọ Yorùbá jọ wọ́n tún ara wọn náà ṣe láàrin àwa ọmọ Yorùbá ká dá dúró láàrin àwa nǹkan yọ̀kan tí wọ́n lè ṣe nìyẹn. pẹ̀lú ọpọlọ tó ní yẹn lórí ọpọlọ tó ní kì í ṣe pé a máa wà ń bẹ̀ láéláé.
definitely ọdún mẹ́rin ló ní ọdún mẹ́rin Tinubu ní kò tí ì lọ́dún mẹ́jọ gan because a lè guarantee ọdún mẹ́jọ.
ọpọlọ yẹn náà fẹ́ fún àwọn tó kù.
ok.
àbáwọn tó ti ṣe látijọ́ ìmú ò lọ́pọlọ láti ṣe.
ok.
àwọn bí ètò ẹ̀ka máa béèrè lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó wà ń bẹ̀ láti jọ ṣé wọn ò kí ṣèyẹn náà ni ṣé báwọn kan náà ni wọ́n jọ ń ṣe é ṣé bàbá Tinubu náà ò ṣe é ni.
ok.
ọkọ̀ tẹ́ ń wà tí ò kú lójú kan tí ò lọ́wájú tí ò lẹ́yìn.
ẹ̀bọ̀ tí Tinubu dẹ̀ ti wá Tinubu ti assemble àwọn the new brains àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá Kadosco Wálé Ẹdùn ó ti kó gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá síbẹ̀ ó ti kó chief of staff inspector general custom inú gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá dẹ̀ ń dùn lọ́tún lọ́sì.
talẹ́ni tó mọ́ ní gbogbo àwọn tó kójọ talẹ́ni tó mọ́ nínú wọn tí wọn ò ní wá díẹ̀ tí ò ní hùn.
ok.
talẹ́ni tó mọ́ ní gbogbo wọn nínú gbogbo àwọn tó kóra wọn jọ talẹ́ni tí ò ní wàhálà tí ò ní kankan nínú tí ò ní kọlùkọlù nínú gbogbo wọn.
ok.
àwọn kọ́nà nílùú àwọn tó ń ṣèlú lé lórí lónìí tí ara ní ṣe èèyàn mélòó nínú wọn ló lè dunnú báyìí pẹ̀lú pé Tinubu ti di kó bẹ́ẹ̀ ti wà lójú ìjọba èèyàn mélòó nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ló lè dìde tí wọ́n pọ́n nínú àwọn dùn àti gbogbo àwọn èmi ló kàn gbogbo wọn èèyàn mélòó nínú wọn mo mọ̀ pé Elédùmarè fẹ́ yẹ kí wọ́n fi kọ́gbọ́n náà ni.
to the live transmission live program ni là ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ẹ jẹ́ lọ sọ́dọ̀ Ọlákúnlé Max mò ń bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ yín bàbá mi Abíọ́dún Adéwuyì ẹ jẹ́ lọ sọ́dọ̀ Adékúnlé Max ẹ bá gbóhùn sókè sà.
ẹ kọ́ lẹ́ o Mr. Pẹ́jì.
ẹ mà káàbọ̀ sórí ètò náà sà. ètò náà ni a bá wa lára mu.
àmì àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tèmi kò ní fi fi bẹ́ẹ̀ pọ̀ bọ̀ máa kàn touch àwọn area díẹ̀díẹ̀ ni. Mo kọ́kọ́ fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ President Tinubu.
Okay.
Àwọn tí wọ́n nípa àwọn bílíọ̀nù nínú ìjọba yìí.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ṣé pé bóyá pàwọn náà wà lórí tán àwọn àṣàmà ní ìkọ̀kọ̀ náà tí àwọn náà fi sọ pé àwọn bílíọ̀nù nínú ẹ̀.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ṣùgbọ́n mo believe pé in the past 6 months or so.
Yeah.
Most of gbogbo wọn náà ti owó tuntun tí ń kọjá wáyé sọ pé àwọn dà pé kìíní yóò rí báwọn ṣe o.
Ẹ sure bẹ́ẹ̀ pé what you think like that?
Yeah, sure. Because
Okay.
Reason tí mo fi sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ is that most of our friends tí mo ní
Tẹjọ́ engage.
Yeah, tí mo try láti convince nípa movement yẹn ní gbogbo last 2 years yẹn.
Yeah.
Tí wọ́n gbọ́ tí wọ́n. So ó kàn yà mí lẹ́nu pé àwọn náà ni wọ́n ṣe wá tó ń bá mi sìn káfà báwo wá ní movement yẹn sí dá pé yẹn ni ìyẹn lọ́lọ́ ìyẹn lélẹ́yìn so.
Okay.
Torí ẹ̀ láwọn míì wà ní ayé tajọ wà pé wọ́n máa ń lẹ́n the hard way ni.
Okay.
Tí nǹkan ò bá ti ṣe ẹlòmíì wọn ń kí ẹ̀ wọ́n nígbàgbọ́ pé bóyá pé ìkan sọ ṣe understand.
Okay.
So mo fẹ́ tún fi nǹkan kan tún fi ṣe àpèjúwe síra wọn. Nàìjíríà yẹn tó bá jẹ́ pé bíi 2 years back or 3 years back, no sorry 3 years back. Ni ẹnìkan sọ fún mi pé Benin Republic ní pé bóyá pé ó máa ní time kan tó máa bẹ́ẹ̀ tà wá máa bẹ́ẹ̀ ní ẹjì yàn láíláí pé but nǹkan kan tí mo wá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé little time tí mo ti wà níbí báyìí because mi ti lu èyí ẹ̀ bí báyìí. Mo kàn níjọ́ yẹn náà mo kàn jí náà ni because economy yẹn ó ti ń choke mi bákan ṣá mo kàn jí náà ni mo kàn decide pé ti ẹ̀dùn náà mo ní ọ̀rẹ́ ní Benin Republic yìí tó dẹ̀ sọ fún mi pé ọ̀dàwọ̀dà jẹ́ kí n kàn lọ bẹ̀ kí n kàn lọ fún 1 week kí n kàn fi wò ó. But to my surprise nígbà tí mo wọ bíbá ní March nígbà wà nǹkan tí mo bá ó yà mí lẹ́nu kò kí ń ṣe pé inú city wọn ni mo wà Kútọ̀nù kan ẹ̀ ṣe Port Novo ni mo wà but under Port Novo ni bíbá yìí náà wà but village ni bí abúlé even mud houses bó ṣe pọ̀ ní bíbá yìí ilé alámọ̀ bó ṣe pọ̀ ní bíbá yìí but ṣe máa pé iná wọn ò gbogbo inú igbó tí mo ti rìn wọnú igbó anytime mo lè decide láti rìn látàárọ̀ bọ̀ ní gbogbo òru tí nǹkan kò lè ní ṣe mí tí ẹnì kò lè ní ṣe yìí.
Okay.
Iná wọn ò ṣẹ́jú rí wọn tójú yẹn bá ti rọ̀ tó bá fún tó bá kọ̀ pọ̀ tára ẹ̀ tó bá ṣe kíní náà máa ń pa tó bá dẹ̀ ti ṣe kíní náà máa kọ̀ padà. Oúnjẹ bíbá yìí ó wọ̀ ilé wọn ní bíbá yìí níbi tí mo wà yìí ní Ìsọkútọ́ ní bíbá yìí tí mo wà yìí.
Ó ṣì moderate.
Ìkòròdú ni mo ti kúrò Mr. Kweki.
Okay.
Mo máa ṣì sí tí à ń gbọ́dọ̀.
And Ikorodu is meant to be a very big player tó bá jẹ́ pé Nàìjíríà ń ṣiṣẹ́ in reality.
Yes. Ó wọlé ní Ìkòròdú sí ní orúkọ apalọ̀ ní Ìkòròdú sí tí ẹ bá rẹni tí ó máa ṣàní wọ́n máa gbàgbé mẹ́ta.
Mo kí bàbá lẹ́kìtì ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò wa sà.
Tó bá gbàgbé mẹ́ta commission lọ́wọ́ yín tó bá fẹ́ ṣàánú yín ló máa gba 300,000 above gan.
Ìyẹn ní ọdún ṣé 2 bedroom. Room and parlour.
Room and parlour self.
Okay.
So if I had a month in Sefa, ṣe mọ̀ pé grandfather naira ní Sefa báyìí. So a month tí o bá rí lè 15,000 Sefa ní a month ní báyìí at least tí o bá máa fi ṣe ní èyí ẹ̀ kò lè wọ́ 200,000.
Okay.
Ẹ̀jẹ̀ máa iná tẹ bá lè lò kò sí anything crazy bill. Iná tó bá lò òun ló máa rí tó máa san. Àwọn pípọ̀ yìí wọ́n kéré ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n practice advanced country life.
Okay.
Kọ́ country is a developing country by nítorí kí ni tẹ́ bá ní working system before you know it ìlú máa ń change rapidly ni.
ẹ kí development máa bá ìlú ni kò jẹ́ kí ìlú máa wà backward 25 years mo ti wà níbí báyìí development ń bá nǹkan míì ni kódà tíyàn bá dàdúgbò míì gan sef tó bá careful gan máa bèrè pa ṣé ojúṣe di London ni bó dẹ̀ ṣe láti rí náà nìyẹn.
Mr. Kweki gbogbo abúlé wọn níbí báyìí pátápátá òun ni tà náà ìjọba wọn tí kò tí ta wọn but ó ti lànà síbẹ̀ ó gírèdì gbogbo ọ̀nà wọnú gbogbo ní abúlé yẹn pátápátá kò tí ta ẹ o but ó gírèdì gbogbo ọ̀nà yẹn pátápátá ibi tí náà bá wọ̀ láńlọ́ọ̀dù bẹ̀ yẹn bóyá ẹni tí ó ní ilé yẹn ní ọ̀pọ̀ tí èrè owó kójọ kó fi fa iná wọ̀ bẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ ìlú wọn wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ wọ́n lè rówó ìjọba yẹn jẹ́ kí wọ́n rí reason pé ẹni tó bá ń ṣiṣẹ́ máa rówó ṣe understand now ìgbà tí mo wá compare and contrast ṣé mo kí mo ní mo wá fẹ́ lo 1 week ní ìbàyẹn pẹ̀lú gbogbo nǹkan kékeré tí mo rí tó convince me mind you country yóò tó ti ọ̀dọ̀ wa o but ó ń develop ìfọ̀kànbalẹ̀ lè wà oúnjẹ wọn ò wọ́n nǹkan tí mo máa fi 40,000 naira rà ní Nàìjíríà tí n bá fi 19,000 sefa rà ó máa jù lọ.
Okay.
She understand?
Agboye.
So now I'm saying for all those one Nigerians tí wọ́n ṣe believe in Tinubu kò sí wàhálà kí a tó lajú kí a tó jìn sí ọdún mẹ́rin á pé.
Okay.
Tí ó bá dẹ̀ ti ṣe kínní tí ó bá ṣe wọ́n á tún fi ọdún mẹ́rin tó nítorí kí ni wọ́n dìbò ní ìlú yẹn selection ni. She understand? Ká lè mọ̀ pé Tinubu ń sìn yìí ó dẹ̀ ti fi gbogbo àwọn èèyàn ẹ̀ sí just like bí àwọn ìjọba yẹn náà ṣe máa ń ṣe. Kò bá lo ATS ẹ̀ pé ní tó bá tún lu wá bẹ́ẹ̀ again.
Oh no, ma clear. I have to start all over again. All right. Okay.
Nígbà tí Tinubu débẹ̀ ó lóun ò bá nǹkan bẹ̀ ó lóun ò bá owó kankan lẹ̀ bọ̀ nísìnyí nǹkan ó lóun ò ní yáwó ló sọ bọ̀ èsì nǹkan òun náà ti jọ ìwọ̀n and the economy á dẹ̀ ṣe máa rí nìyẹn èpè kọ́ bí economy á ṣe máa tí ẹ bá máa fi wo this time December ọdún yìí ẹ̀rí náírà to dollar rate bẹ́ẹ̀ dẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ àwọn èèyàn mi dẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ mo jẹ́rìí wọn ẹ̀jọ̀ máa live lọ nìyẹn they believe in God of Israel.
Okay.
Israel dẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ àwọn èèyàn lo arms àbí.
So what can the citizen do in this situation? Ṣé wọ́n kàn máa dúró a máa wò? What can the citizen do?
Let's tell you, citizen of that country, Nigeria, ìlú wa yẹn. Ṣé rí bá sọ nǹkan tí wọ́n máa ṣe ní àtẹ̀nídọ̀la tí ẹnìkan bá ti trigger ẹ̀ fún wọn wọn ní ṣe kankan.
Okay, so wọ́n dúró déyàn kan kó trigger.
Tí kò bá sí revolution nílùú yẹn.
Bọ̀ṣọ̀wọ̀ ti ń pariwo revolution gan sef kó tó di pé ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation gan fẹ́ẹ̀ tó máa pick but it seems that Nigerians sọ fún wọ́n ní Ṣòwòrẹ́ tó ń pariwo revolution yẹn pé is a wrong move. We need to stabilize the economy, the political blah 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 òyìnbó ti pọ̀ jù ṣá but intent on this ni pé revolution kan sá fún yẹn it will still eventually pop up at some point. Alright, àgbọ̀ Mr. Lolly kan mọ́ bíi network. Alright, ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sórí ètò. Mo máa ń kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí pé a kúrọ̀lẹ́ níbikíbi tí ẹ wà tí ẹ ti ń gbọ́ wa tí ẹ ti ń wò wá. Koiki Media Ọláyọmí Koiki ni mò ń jẹ́ èmi ní bàbá Yorùbá Nation. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ fídíò yìí. Ẹ jẹ́ gbọ́n kọ́ta.
Ó fọ́ ni ẹ má bínú pé mo rẹ́rìn kò yẹ kí rẹ́rìn. So nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní pé a ti tó bí like 3 or 4 hours ago mo rí news pé Supreme Court ti padà rule pé Tinubu ló win ní 2023 election but the funny part is ìyálàyà yóò tó jubilate ẹ̀mí gbogbo wa ti fẹ́ bọ́ rí 100 days in office celebrate níbi tẹ́lẹ̀ ẹ̀mí gbogbo wa ti fẹ́ pin ojú wa ti dá àtẹ̀yìn ló kàn ó àtẹ̀yìn tí ó kàn ó ẹ̀mí everybody ti fẹ́ bọ́ báyìí ní ìgbà owó lọ́wọ́ because you dey touch everybody. Kò yẹ kí rẹ́rìn mo mọ̀ kò yẹ kí rẹ́rìn bọ́ ẹ má bínú pé mo rẹ́rìn. Ṣé gbogbo owó campaign yìí ṣe ti ìnà tán ṣá because for the next 4 years yẹn tí ò bá tẹ̀ sí ṣe 8 years ojú yẹn á bó ojú wa ẹ má jẹ́ sọ pé ojú yìí torí èmi náà wà ń bẹ mo sì wà country even kí n kúrò country yìí gan ṣé gbogbo ẹbí mi mo fẹ́ kó lọ ni ojú wa á bó ẹ̀mí wa ti fẹ́ bó torí mo jẹ́rìí àwọn èèyàn tí mo ní ká ní pé irú ẹ̀ ní ìbá ẹ̀ sìn oríṣiríṣi orí ọ̀tẹ̀ láti máa gbé oríṣiríṣi caption oríṣiríṣi èpè láti máa gbọ́ tó ti máa lọ wọ́n ti sọ pé ọmọdé kò mọ̀gùn ó ń pè lẹ́fọ̀n ọmọdé owó ọmọdé ò tó pẹpẹ tàgbàlagbà kìíní kò wá bọ̀ báyìí wọn bí yàrá jẹ anybody rẹ kó jubilate torí ẹ̀mí yìí ti fẹ́ bọ́.
ó dá agbára báyìí o ó yá gbóhùn sókè.
Cost of fuel has gone up. Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there's not.
Chai!
wàhálà mo ń kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí pé mo kí wa mo kí ọmọdé mo kí gbogbo wa now ẹ jẹ́ ká wá lọ ka átíkù yẹn lẹ́ǹkan sí èyí tí a kà láàárọ̀ ẹ mọ̀ pé àráyè bá ṣẹ̀ dáadáa láàárọ̀ so let me now read it again for the benefit of ẹni tó ti wo program tààrọ̀ this is our second program for the day 24 hours ní platform wa sometimes we might go quiet but we are never quiet on the Twitter space I mean on the Twitter rather àbí X kò ń ṣe Twitter mọ́ X so remember to follow us on the X which is Koiki Media many of you probably will be new to the platform. This is a Yoruba Nation campaign media. That is what we do. That is what we talk about. I don't have any other thing than the dismantle of Nigeria. You can pray for Nigeria from now to thy kingdom come. You have the right to pray for Nigeria. I have stopped praying for Nigeria very long time ago. It's a weary country. I don't think it's worth praying for Nigeria anyway. But you have the right to pray for Nigeria if that is what you think, your pastor, your imam, your afar is telling you to do. You should pray for Nigeria, okay? So, ẹ̀yà kan tí message tí mo receive lánàá, àbá àárọ̀ ìdẹ̀ ni mo receive ẹni. Ẹni yẹn ṣe highlight of the Biafra 2023 referendum in Finland. Urgent learning point to note. And he also talked about President Tinubu. So it's a 10 bullet points. It's a 10 bullet points. And I want us to go through it together again. Number one, Biafra, whether we Yoruba, we like it or not, will gain independence before the end of 2025. I'm going to try and do a bit of more analysis better than what I did in the morning. Let's go back to the latest report coming out in the last 24 hours regarding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. According to the report coming out in the news, that let's first look at because I want to give you another update that I've just received now, but let's start with the one that came out yesterday, which is okay, let's put IPOP because that might give me what I need. So, in the last few hours, a court ruling came out to say stop calling IPOB a terrorist organization. And you must also award them 8 billion naira damages to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If you are waiting for the 8 billion in Nigeria of today, you will wait till thy kingdom come. Nigeria is the only country that you are being told or they've been asked to pay compensation. And those compensation is not going to happen. Just like, Oloye was meant to get a compensation for the assassination attempt of his life, damage of properties to the tune of 20 billion. But the government seems not to be interested in that. So I don't see anywhere that the federal government will award 8 billion to Nnamdi Kanu. But I think the Biafra would prefer to even have a referendum than have 8 billion. Okay. I think they would prefer that. They would rather prefer to have a referendum for the dismantle or disintegration or the breakup of Nigeria, whichever one you want to take. But it's a good thing. But I think this is just to put a kind of peace surrounding the agitation of the Biafrans or the Southeast in general. It's just to calm down the tension. Whether due to the fact that there was a referendum and a convention that took place in Finland last weekend, or maybe because the government do not want anybody to go out on this road and start protesting after the Supreme Court yesterday. So there's a game being played out in the public domain by the elite to make sure that Nigerians do not go out and start creating unnecessary havoc. Many of you are already scared anyway. After the death of many innocent Nigerians at Oyigbo and also Lekki Tollgate. People seem to be talking about the Lekki Tollgate, but we tend to forget that there was also killing from Wike that killed many innocent Igbos during the EndSARS that took place. Even people, as I speak to you, are still currently in prison. There's about 34 people that have been in prison since 3 years. So many Nigerians will not want to come out anyway to protest anymore because you are so scared. But you will definitely come out at the appropriate time through other means. But for now, I don't see Nigerians coming out to protest because you have been bastardized. You have been you have literally been punched, and you were expecting the UK, America to deal with Nigeria politicians, and they've disappointed you. Even especially after this election, many Nigerians thought that the Europe, the Western country, will come in and say, hey, they're already celebrating Tinubu even while you are still wasting your time. Tinubu has been given, look, even if FBI brings out 10,000 files of Tinubu and says he's a criminal, it doesn't matter. Buhari is more than a criminal than even Tinubu anyway, so they are all the same. Tinubu will complete his tenure, but the question is, for the Yoruba that are, thinking that Tinubu will give them the peace, what happened after Tinubu? So, going back to what the State High Court sitting in Enugu has now nullified the 2017 that Olori Buruku, the bomb bastard, former President Muhammadu Buhari, dead or alive, he was the one that prescribed, and anytime we talk about Buhari, we must also be mentioning Yemi Osibajo because they are both in that government. So we must not try to say that Osibajo, is a pastor, of Redeemed Christian Church or KICC or whatever nonsense, Osibajo was one of the bastards that also allowed Buhari to use him to proscribe a innocent organization or a movement like IPOB and say they are terrorists. And this is what Nigerians are happy about. Hey, yeah, IPOB is a terrorist organization. So don't you know that Buhari himself is a terrorist man? Can't you see it? That all your military have been infiltrated because Buhari allowed that. So when some of you are so excited that yeah, it's good, call them terrorist organization. But today you have all the terrorist organization operating in Nigeria, and yet none of you have the iota to come out and say no. IPOB is not a terrorist organization. But you want to come after somebody like me because I speak not on behalf of IPOB. They want to break out of Nigeria. They want a dismantle. They want a referendum. Let them go so that we will remain in Nigeria as Yoruba people that are stupid and allow the North to continue to drive us backwards. So you got to choose one. Is either you choose the dissolution of Nigeria or you remain a slave in Nigeria. So it's good that after Buhari has left, I'm sure the court in Enugu must have got message from Tinubu that look, that's the way Buhari say in 2017. Me, I don't agree. You better just say IPOB is no longer a terrorist organization. Because you'll be wondering why the timing. Why now is because they want to slow down any one of you from coming out to protest on the street. And regardless of whatever they do, the Biafrans have said they are no longer interested in Nigeria. It might not mean literally everyone in the southeast. I mean, I can't sit here and say everyone in the southeast want to be part of the Biafra. But they also believe that they are being marginalized one way or the other. So according to the State High Court sitting in Enugu, has nullified the 2017 proscription of the indigenous people of Biafra as a terrorist organization. That should never have come up in the first place. But Buhari is just trying to remind the Southeast that we dealt with you during the Biafra war. And if you are not careful, all this you're shouting and shouting that you want, Biafra, we are reminding you that we would deal with you again. And if you don't want to agree with me, yes, you are quite right. Mr. Taiwo Henry Olajide says, Nigerians have been subjugated. Eunice Uchechi, my Biafra sister, that stick with us on this platform, says, only the Fulani mixed blood called Igbos, they don't want Biafra. Just the same thing that we say that, welcome, my brother Yemi Fatuke. So, I'm just trying to give you that Tinubu is trying to now play this card to put a little bit of pressure down in Nigeria, because Nigeria is boiling right now. You need to go and listen to what the obedient are saying. They are crying all over the place. We told them anyway. Just like we told Atiku. Atiku is not losing anything because he has stolen so much money that he doesn't have to be in Nigeria anyway. He'll probably just go to Dubai and, return back there. But many Nigerians are now saying, okay, so Biafra was never a terrorist organization. Why must you even believe? I have said it for the last 3 years. That Biafra is not, IPOB rather, is not a terrorist organization. Okay, sorry. But many of you don't want to accept that. But now, a sitting high court in Enugu has now nullified that nonsense to say, you call the indigenous people of Biafra a terrorist organization. According to Anthony Onovo, the presiding judge on Thursday, which was yesterday, ruled that the proscription of IPOB is a violation of the fundamental human right of Nnamdi Kanu. Why are they just talking now? Is because most of these judges were also scared of the Fulani clan called Buhari. But now that Tinubu is there, and Tinubu knows that there is a pressure in the southeast, and he is probably trying to dose the pressure down. But that does not mean that the Biafra are going to listen to Tinubu anyway. Let's give us the background. I'm giving you the number one from the email that I received, I'm going to go to number 2. But because that message says Biafra, whether we Yoruba like it or not, will gain independence before the end of 2025. And I say, Ise, Ashe. Because the earlier we dismantle the country, the better for everyone. So let me just give you the background that led to why IPOB was called a terrorist organization. Mukiyawa Felicia Jagbe, Empress, good afternoon, good evening. In September 2017, the defense headquarters, that Olori Buruku that want to bribe Igbowo, Buratai. Remember now that we don't have Buratai there. But one day, if you still remain in Nigeria after 2027 or 2031, whichever one, there will now be another northerner that will take that position. I pray it doesn't happen. I pray by that time, every one of us would have stayed in our own lane. The Igbos or the Biafrans would have gone. The Arewas, even those are smaller, they can have their own country. There are countries that are not even up to small percentage. So it was the defense headquarters branded IPOB a militant terrorist organization. Some days later, the bomb bastard Olori Buruku former President Muhammadu Buhari, dead or alive, approved the legal process for the proscription of the separatist group. Buhari was the engineer behind that, because Buhari is working for the West, is part of the agent put in Nigeria, and his father is from Niger. It was only his mother that is from Castina. So when we look at it categorically, Buhari is not even a true Nigerian, and that is why he invested so much in Niger that many of you now cannot pull the money back, because Niger has now owed Bola Tinubu on a spectrum. They've owed him like that. What in Mulabe? He can't do anything because there's a military junta in Niger. So we don't even have that cordial relationship anymore with the same country that Buhari invested money into. And if you don't believe me, just Google it, which I can tell you. There's a train to Niger, right? That Buhari invested in. Let's look at what Google comes up. Why are we building a rail to Niger Republic? This was in 2021. Why you are saying that IPOB is terrorist organization? Bomb bastard Buhari is putting money to Niger. But Nigerians are gullible people, idiots. Because you don't like Nnamdi Kanu because of his utterances. You don't like Nnamdi Kanu because he says Nigeria is no longer working. So rather than us to be questioning Buhari, you were putting your energy on Biafra. And today, many Yorubas have paid with their lives. And you just go and look at it. It's there. Many of you have paid with your life because many Yoruba people have died in the hands of Fulani compared to the terrorists that they call IPOB. How many IPOB have killed Yoruba people? But because the hypocrisy of the Yoruba people, you don't want to accept that it is the criminal real terrorists that Buhari brought in that are killing us. But because Buhari has told you that, no, I am not the terrorist though. The real terrorist is IPOB. So according to Premium Times, that I'm gonna share the link with you, because I can't talk here without giving you evidence. The headline says then, why are we building rail to Niger Republic, Buhari? The president says the facility, listen to this, will also enable the people of Niger Republic enjoy affordable transportation. Did you hear that? But bomb bastard Nigerians that cannot think are putting Biafra, or IPOB rather, as a terrorist organization, while your money was being moved to Niger Republic so that they can have a better transportation. And you can see why there can never be peace in that land. But Tinubu is trying to play the card of bringing peace. And that is why he will probably say, you know what, let the military also come out and say, IPOB is not a terrorist organization, but we cannot allow them to be, to do certain things. And it is only Nigeria that call IPOB terrorist organization. Around the world, nobody recognizes it as a terrorist organization. That is why they can operate fully, even in America. I'm sure some of you see that they're operating fully in America. They have the Biafra house in America. I don't know whether they call it embassy or whatever they call it, but it is there. And they have different mission houses fully paid for, either renting or buying, with the logo of the Biafra outside, even up to Japan. Idiot Nigerians. Some of you will never go Ojuelegba. Some of you did village. And when we are talking, we are telling you that it doesn't, you think that whatever Buhari was doing and castigating the IPOB was reflected outside. You think when Obati sit down and talk his nonsense with his cocoa head, you think the world listen to people like that? If IPOB was a terrorist organization, they would not be allowing them to operate outside. IPOB was never a terrorist organization. It was Nigeria that is a terrorist organization or a terrorist country. So, according to President Buhari spoke on Tuesday, this was February 9, 2021 article. And look at the figure, because some of you don't even know that the figure that we are talking here is money that was borrowed on behalf of Nigeria to go and invest in Nigeria. And you will come here and say, where's the Yoruba Nation money? Or there. Billions of dollars have been borrowed on your head and my head as Nigerians. We will be the one to pay back for these services, or this loan rather. So according to the president that spoke on Tuesday while performing a virtual groundbreaking ceremony for Kano to Maradi standard gauge rail line, are you, as a Yoruba man, would you ever travel from Kano to Maradi to go and do what? Kí ló ń ṣe níbẹ̀? You have not traveled to Kwara. You have not traveled to Ekiti. You will now go to Kano. How do you get to Kano in the first place? Are you going to go by plane? Are you going to go by road? Or are you going to go by what means of transportation? The money that Buhari should have used to invest in Nigeria, it was pulling $1.96 billion project will serve the import and export of goods from Niger Republic and other countries in the sub-region through Nigerian ports. So what they will do is they will bring goods through Nigerian ports and they will use that to move through the rail. And when we talk, some of you don't understand the reason why we're saying this country called Nigeria, it is time we start winding it down. I think I have somebody that have joined us. Let me see if the person is still there. And I don't want anybody to just sit down there. Gino Nice, X12, can you unmute yourself and let's hear from you, sir or madam. I don't know if you're a male or female.
Hello, sir.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò.
Hello, sir. Call sir. Martins ni sir.
All right, go ahead. À ń gbọ́ wọn. Ṣòfin dá sétò ni.
Mo ṣe join mi mọ Peter
All right.
sir.
Ìbéèrè tá à ń béèrè ni pé ṣé Tinubu lè dá Nàìjíríà ṣó lè dismantle ẹ̀ within 18 months? Òun ni question gangan tó wà lórí ètò lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Ṣé Bọ́lá Tinubu lè dismantle Nàìjíríà in the next 18 months? So, ẹ jẹ́ kí a máa bá ètò yẹn lọ lára àwọn Koiki Media team ni. So, why am I reminding Nigerians that your former president took a loan on behalf of me and you, that me and you will have to pay back? Whether you are hungry, whether you no chop, whether me too are the chop for London, it does not matter. We are Nigerians that will have to pay back the loan that Buhari took on our behalf. Talo Benche, who sent Buhari to take loan on our behalf? But when we are here saying that this is not right, but today, after Buhari 8 years, they are now saying, okay, maybe it was a mistake. We should never, never have said IPOB is a terrorist organization. And that means that Nigerians, we should now start asking the question, was IPOB a terrorist organization in the first place? Was IPOB a terrorist organization in the first place? IPOB was never a terrorist organization. Everybody knows that. But it is because Nigerians do not like Nnamdi Kanu. So they've decided to say, IPOB is a terrorist organization because Buhari said so. So you trusted Buhari more than Nnamdi Kanu. And may God continue to protect and be with Nnamdi Kanu until his release. So now, the court says that, look, on September 20, 2017, a federal high court in Abuja declared the activities of the IPOB as act of terrorism. People where they shout, Biafra, that they bring flag, that they wear, the same thing that the Scottish people are doing. But because the understanding of Nigerians, some of you don't even know the meaning of self-determination. So, automatically, because IPOB pariwo, and they've declared them is an act of terrorism. And right there and there, who did so? Is it not the same bloody Fulani man called Abubakar Malami? I'm sure Abubakar Malami is living somewhere in Arab country now, either in Saudi Arabia or in Qatar, with stolen Nigerian wealth. Bomb bastard. He wanted to be a governor in the north part of Nigeria. I don't think he got the ticket. But he will still come back, because they'll always come back. He will come back and still say, and the southern leaders of the country called Nigeria, okay? You want us to be one block Nigeria. You would then have to start talking about the release of Nnamdi Kanu, regionalism, and also restructuring. Those are three things they are demanding. That shows that even everybody knows that the country is not favorable to everyone. The same way the Yorubas are saying we want restructure from the aspect of the Afenifere, not the campaigner for Yoruba Nation now. The question is, how will Tinubu manage all these crises? Because, number one, Nigeria doesn't have the money anymore. So the crisis is still there. The crisis is not going to go away anytime soon. So if you think that Tinubu being the president, as confirmed yesterday by the Supreme Court, he has more problems to deal with, and one of two problems that he brother. The only job of a politician is to steal and kill you so-called Nigerian. So why am I reminding us back is because the leader of the South and the Middle Belt said, look, Tinubu, okay, I agreed. You have now been confirmed as the president. Nobody's going to argue with you anymore. There's no more any court ruling coming up in the next 4 years. The only thing is you might not get a ticket in the next 4 years from your party. Or Peter Obi might have to go back on the round table and work again with the PDP, because Peter Obi thought it was going to... Peter Obi was an agent. I told you guys anyway, because we knew when he flew to London, and immediately he came out from that meeting, he went to join Labour Party and then divide the vote for PDP so that they can allow... So Peter Obi... The speaker on. Mokibu, it's still the Friday conversation. My name is Olami Koiki. The West determine who become your president. Maybe you like it or not. Hello, caller. Hello, Mr. Good. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Huh? Service you down.
Hello. We can hear you. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò wa sà.
Ẹ kú iṣẹ́ takuntakun.
Ọlọ́run ló ń ṣiṣẹ́.
Ẹ kú ètò.
Ètò nìyẹn.
Àfi tá a bá fẹ́ tanra jẹ lókù sà. Kò sí májíìkì kan tí Tinubu lè pàfọ́ọ̀mù nínú Nàìjíríà yìí yàtọ̀ sí kóníkálùkù pín.
Mo kíyàwó Esther Ọláwùmí.
Pé bóyá ọ̀rọ̀ revolution àbí no revolution pínpín. Ká pín kóníkálùkù dọ́mù yẹ́ ẹ̀gbẹ́ kóníkálùkù máa lọ lọ́tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀. Nítorí pé inú corruption làwọn ti ń jẹ. Nínú corruption ni wọ́n ti ń mu. Gbogbo àwọn tó support wọn tó ń bá wọn ṣèjọba kò sí èèyàn kan tó lọ síbẹ̀ tó lọ jà fún mẹ̀kúnnù àbí tálíkà àbí pé kìlú yìí dá. Rárá, nǹkan wa ni. Ó yàtọ̀ sí pé nǹkan yìí nǹkan tèmi ni. Ẹgbọ́n nǹkan tó sọ, ó ní èmi ló kàn. Èmi ló kàn.
Ẹ má bínú, ẹgbọ́n lè nísìn. Ẹgbọ́n lè ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, 2,168 ex-Boko Haram terrorists graduated from the federal government rehabilitation program. This is not last year. This is coming from the News Agency of Nigeria, October 26, 2023. Make una dey wine me. Mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, Market Mastro. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò sà. Ẹ máa wine wa.
so ibo ni àwọn Fúlàní ti pààyàn nílùú Yorùbá iná tó ń gbégbèsè kò sí. So kí ni nǹkan tá a wá ń sọ bá a bá ju àdá sókè nígbàgbà ibi pẹlẹbẹ náà ló máa mú lélẹ̀ solution ni pé ká pín ká ṣe òfin gidi òfin tó ní agbára òfin tó bá mú ẹlẹ́hàá ló mú eléégún òfin tó bá mú táyé ló mú kọ́hìndé kì í ṣe pé kó máa fìyà jẹ tálákà àti mẹ̀kúnnù kó wá ṣẹ̀sọ́dọ̀ tiwọn kó sọ wípé rárá ọmọ lágbájá ni ọmọ tàmẹ̀dò ni rárá. Solution ni pé ká pín Yorùbá nation ní solution kò tún sí kankan mí lẹ́yìn ẹ̀. So ìhun tí bàbá so ìhun tí Tinubu lè ṣe tí bàbá yìí lè ṣe tílẹ̀ Yorùbá òfin nígbàgbé ẹ̀ táwọn onílé òfin nígbàgbé ẹ̀ nìyẹn tí orúkọ á wà nínú ìwé ètò ṣùgbọ́n pé bóyá máa tún Nàìjíríà ṣe àbíóyá revolution kìíní kan nǹkan ti bàjẹ́ kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀ corruption everywhere inú corruption ló ti ń jẹ ló ti ń mu kò sọ́nà àbáyọ ju Yorùbá nation lọ Yorùbá nation òun ni solution. Ẹ ṣe ẹ̀kọ́ ètò.
Ẹ ṣe gan ni mo kí bàbá mi ọmọọba Bíọ́dún Grace Chapel ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò gbogbo ẹni tó bá fẹ́ dá sí màá fún yín láyè kẹ́pẹ́ wọlé mo kí wa pé a kú ọjọ́ Friday tèmi mo kí ẹ̀yin sisters wa mo kí àwọn tí wọ́n believe pé I mean we are not here to force anybody to be part of Yoruba Nation campaign. But I just want us to start asking questions. Was it very on an honest basis calling IPOB movement a terrorist organization in 2017? Now they are coming back to say, oh, we did a mistake. It is not even meant to have been proscribed. It was a mistake. So the question now is, what do we do? Bola Tinubu is playing a game so that it can cool down the tension in the southeast part of Nigeria. There's no way we can have Yoruba nation without negotiation. There's no way we can have Yoruba nation without engagement. Yoruba nation is going to involve a lot of different activities. Let's take this call again. Bashin start ni call Batifewa Amapa ni Ikona la mama she because Tabatin lo phone. And I want you to call in and disagree with me in any of my broadcasts or my views. Your own is good, your feedback. But one thing is, if you come here and say Koiki, I'm Biafra, blah blah blah, your relationship with them, I will tell you that tell Bola Tinubu to allow them to go. Hello caller, you're welcome to the program, sir. Eba mute the background, ẹ ti wà live. Ẹ mute tẹ́ fi ń gbọ́ mi lórí yẹn. Ẹ mute tẹ́ fi ń gbọ́ mi yẹn. Ẹ ti wà live pẹ̀lú mi.
Yeah, Nagora Koiki Tunde.
Okay,
Tunde Okoji from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Ẹ̀gbọ́n sókè bàbá, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi sir, ẹ káàbọ̀ sókè.
Yeah, I know, but this program, so one cannot, ask you how to do a program as journalist myself. But at the end of the day, we can offer ourselves, certain advice and all of that. The question you are asking is multifaceted. And your opinion about Biafra, it's personal opinion. I want to say that's not so movement opinion. You are free to express your personal opinion. Because the experience is unique. Nigerians, I live most of my life in and I live, with the better part of my life, and I will be forever.
All right, line in crack. Momo be and low another device that thing connect the phone here is like it's cracking and we can't hear you properly if the line is cracking. But to go again. Let's see if maybe it will be better. Okay, adjust whatever. Long. If not,
all right, okay. Let me cover because I can hear you clearly.
Go ahead. I just want to be sure that you are not using another device or something. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So, because the platform Samuel and always calling, pray for you, and because you are the voice of you are the voice of the movement. You are the voice of the movement. Question, we have to be focused on what we are doing. Yes, therefore we might be calling for the same thing. But we are separate nations. We have to know that.
There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about that. Everybody agrees on that.
Approach that we have to.
Oh, definitely. We are not.
In order not to be.
Yeah. What do you?
Yeah, in order not to be mistaken for. I don't know if you have seen videos of what iPod has done. Continue to do. Yoruba nation will never do such thing.
Well, that's why we are two different.
Never.
And you have said the same.
Exactly.
That is
never.
Sherry. One thing, one thing we got to agree is, whatever they are doing, how does that concern us? If what they are doing is not okay with the government, give them a referendum and let them go, so that we will remain Nigerians with the Hausa and the Fulani. That is what I am saying. Whatever.
We are saying, look, like I said, your passion.
Yeah.
Your passion. You have to separate your passion and what you want.
Yeah, but I am a journalist. I am a journalist because I have seen this Enisuru. I have seen the same thing that you all are trying to put as Koiki and what Biafra and Wawa into armed struggle. But this is the same thing that happened in IRA, that they forced the British government, so that the British government decided, you know what, our bastard before they destroy everything, just go away. So what is wrong in that?
Yeah,
this is the same thing that the East Timor fought for. So why must it be that my own views, and I've said it that my views has got nothing to do with Yoruba Nation, this is my own personal views. But whether I speak on behalf of Yoruba Nation and my views has to now be hidden.
You see, I want to one thing you have done a very good job of speaking for Yoruba Nation, and especially being the mouth of Chief Sunday Igboho. And you have been able to separate the movement, from the person of Chief Sunday Igboho when he's talking. To answer as Sunday Igboho, different from when he's talking as a leader of Yoruba Nation. I love that you have done. But that is where you too. And you did that, knowing that, look, pronouncements from certain people. You don't know how weighty. If you know the weight of your words, one lie, you will not mention anything now. You will know to have impact on everything.
Okay. All right. I mean, it's good we get feedback.
Good. I know. That is where people like you have to separate between, okay, this is what I want personally. But this is how we have to go about it officially.
Yeah, but I have never. I understand the point. The question now is, we are getting a message now from the Nigerian system to say even the same IPOB can't won't commit all these atrocities. Number one, they are not a terrorist organization. I haven't seen the reaction from Bola Tinubu yet. I'm waiting to see either the presidency will react to that. If the presidency keep quiet, that means that Tinubu himself knows that these are not terrorists. So if they are not, it is the Shari, the same thing that you saw. It is what Buhari, the same thing that we are playing right now.
Yeah.
Is what the British did.
Yeah.
The British were very, very cunning people. They make sure that the hatred between the three ethnic groups here, even if we are separate.
Exactly. And
so,
you know, my God, we are the center of it, and we are the
line you clear that we
I don't to any Igbo, I don't care. Because they don't, I know whom they are. No more that.
Okay, that again.
I know whom they are.
That again is a personal thing. Is a personal thing. That one is any so. That Tebamo that okay, the same thing, not Lassie Johnson. You know, Tebamo that is.
I was saying because of where
line one, you're clear. I cannot hear properly. The line is very bad. So we are struggling to hear you. I'm sorry. I don't know whether you can hear him. You know, I cannot hear him because he's struggling. You know, Koike is allowed to have his personal opinion and about enter our Twitter space. I'm going.
I just want to say this.
Triple DRS, good evening. Yeah, we cannot hear the caller and it's like everything is muffled. We can't hear him very well. You know, you'll always be welcome to call back. Go ahead, Mr. Adams.
Okay, in my own opinion, I don't know about anybody. You can see it as another thing, but to me, as Biafra, they are. I'm fully Yoruba man. I'm a Yoruba enemy.
Then yeah, but as far
as I'm saying it, we are fighting for the same thing.
America, they're not thinking we can Nigeria. As far as
we are fighting for the same thing.
Okay. Okay. I think there's some friction that we need to. There's no way we will talk about Nigeria. We will not have a beef among each other. But the question we should first ask is, Kilo create a beef? We first need to tackle the problem. Because Tebani, they gave us a regional government. And Gurosi, according to the evidence that people are putting out there, destroyed the regional government. Because that is, you know, the argument. Ojukwu wanted to bring Biafra to Ore. He killed many people. All these things that you're talking about, we cannot take it away out of history. It's still going to be there. But we are now talking about another generation of Yoruba people. Igbo ngbe nile baba mi, níbi tí baba mi kọ́lé sí ní Nigeria. We have them there. I have talked about èyí tó gba shop lọ́wọ́ wa, tó fẹ́ gba shop lọ́wọ́ wa. We have that there. If the system was working in Nigeria, I would not even have to be going to the police station. I would have dealt with it in a way that it will not go through that way. So if all this issue of we and the IPOP, or we, not even we are there, let's even say we and the Southeast, if there's a friction between us, how do we dissolve this friction? Number one, nobody wants to agree that the reason why we are all in this mess, that the hatred is there, is because we were put together by the British in 1960, or in 1914 rather. If there was nothing called Nigeria in 1914, I don't think the Igbo will want to come and take our land. Okay? Number two, when we talk about the problem that took place between the 60s, there's no way we can throw that into the basket. The problems were there. But if we are going to allow those problems to continue or not continue, allow them to go. All this, wọ́n fẹ́ gba Lagos mọ́ yín lọ́wọ́, wọ́n fẹ́ gba this, wọ́n fẹ́ gba that. Many of you are saying that they are into armed struggle. That is another argument. Wọ́n para wọn. Ṣé nígbà tó ti ń para wọn, ṣé wọ́n wá pa ẹ̀yìn? Give me the evidence with a video evidence. I'm not talking about beer parlor conversation. I need a video evidence that the Igbos of today left their base in the southeast on this agitation of Biafra, and they've come down to Yoruba territory to kill us. I need that evidence. What is the root cause of the problem? Question mark. Omogbolawan Oba, Egbon mi bere. What is the root cause of the problem? The British knew what they were doing. They were very, very smart. Elogbo Harold Wilson. Harold Wilson says the British allow Azikiwe as at the time to take some loan. I can't remember how he put it. But eventually, the same thing they did with Azikiwe, they were doing it with Awolowo. You know that each time they were having meeting during the Lancaster, the British were conning that they were having another meeting with the northern part of Nigeria. So why is it that today, all these issues between Yoruba people and Igbo, we still want to allow it to stop a movement between a two nation that wants to now pull out? Are we not meant to be talking about the pullout if the union of Nigeria is not working? So all these arguments, I cannot buy into it, because at the end of the day, I will say that the British were very, very cunning people. I've lived with them for 25 years and I know what I'm talking about. Even between us and the Caribbeans, they've tried to destroy us. You know, take about the country one, somehow disturb our money. And if they're going to be a threat for us, we will have to defend the borders, just like any other countries are defending their borders. That is something that we must understand. They are doing armed struggle. Yoruba people are not doing armed struggle. Mo ti gbé lọ́dọ̀ wọn, wọ́n talẹ̀ fún mi. Ta ló ní ká ìmá talẹ̀ fún wọn nílẹ̀ Yorùbá? Problem ti nìyẹn. And as long as they remain Nigerians, there's nothing you can do. It is entirely up to Yoruba people not to sell anything they are selling in Isolo, in Okota, in Festac. Okay, so when he says they should come and defend them in Lagos, did they come and defend them with weapon? I saw that video. Did they come down? Did Simon Ekpa send people to come down and defend them? So, and that's why I said, you know, I will repeat it again. Yoruba people are hypocrites. I don't care.
Can you hear me?
Mo gbọ́ yín loud and clear. It is very easy when you are all coming out and say, àwa Yoruba, àwa Yoruba, àwa Yoruba. Mo ní kẹ́ gbọ́n yẹn kó lọ àwọn lọ gbọ́n mi. So what we are saying is that our need another era in our life today. Mo ní kẹ́ disconnect. Mo ní hold on. Go ahead.
Okay. Mo try to use earpiece. That's not going to my echo. Where we are right now, it amazes me when I listen to a lot of our people taking a position on what they know little or nothing about. Why I'm saying this is this. The country you are talking about today, many of them, they don't even check how do they become Nigerians. And Papa will also say there are no Nigerians. He knows what he's talking about. Because this is a country that there was never a time that the indigenous people came together to say, look, we want to live together. But some people look at their own business interests and forced the people who have no cultural affinity, who have no common tradition, who does not even understand their languages. They put them together to make one country, and they call it a nation. And since they did that, they don't even understand the language of themselves. How can they be on the same page? So we are now talking about if there is hatred between one indigenous people and the other. Why won't there be? Because Nigeria is like a forest where it's not even a zoo, because like I always say, a zoo is better organized. In a zoo, you will not put a lion and a deer together. But in a jungle is where you see them and others prey on others. So Nigeria has been made to be a zoo from the foundation. And they put everybody together. So in the quest for survival, there will be, everybody will be, we want to exercise power when they have the opportunity. But in situations like that, it's not going to be in the interest of all. And that is why in Nigeria, there are no citizens, there are inhabitants. Okay? Those who were citizens yesterday and inhabitants today. So everybody, if you are not in power, if you are not in politics and you are not the governor, or you are the president, or you are a minister having diplomatic passport, you are an inhabitant, not a citizen. The country does not have indigenous people as citizens. The only people that are citizens are those with diplomatic passports. Okay? Now, getting that into our head, those who are saying, why are you having alliance? Why are you supporting the Biafrans? Why won't you? The enemy of your enemy should be what? Should he be your own enemy or your friend? The enemy of your enemy should be your friend. Because that is the only way you can both get your freedom. You get what I'm saying? Now, there are different ways to self-determination. Armed struggle is one of it, and if you look at it, it is not the Biafrans that just choose to kill themselves. There are reports that exposes the genocide that Buhari administration and Usodima and the, what's it called? These Umai, that they are committing in the southeastern part of Nigeria. You get what I'm saying? So people are not talking about that. When people now rise in self-defense, that, look, you can't continue to kill us. So if we stay in our homes, there are situations where we have seen Nigerian military burning down houses of innocent people, arrest youth on the street, tagging them as IPOB. You get what I'm saying? So even girls they are not exempted. They keep arresting people on the streets. All in the name of IPOB. They are the ones that also say indigenous people of Biafra that they are terrorist organizations. Have they gone to Abuja to attack Abuja? Have they gone to Lagos to attack Lagos? Have they gone to Ogun State to attack Ogun State? They should look at how terrorists operate. Can you compare how IPOB operates with the way Boko Haram and ISWAP and the rest of our Fulani men? Can you compare their modes of operation? You can. And so therefore saying they are terrorists is just a narrative. See, the Nigerian government seems to believe, and the number of our people are buying into that. When they kill their own people, when the military kill their people, we don't talk about it. We think it's a normal thing to happen. Now, the rally that we had at Ojota, and they shot a guy just by mere saying, look, this is what we want. There isn't placards. Nobody was throwing stones. Nobody had guns. Nobody had matches. But while they were doing peaceful rally, Nigerian military went there, or the police, and they shot at innocent people. Do we now say that is also terrorism on the part of those who were doing the rally? So, you see, Nigeria is at a point where abnormal situations are always justified by our people. And then to forget about that, I only want to add it before I drop.
Yeah.
On those who are saying, this is the first time, see, through Yoruba one day, people we should give him a chance. We have no business with who is the president of Nigeria. Because Nigeria, we are saying that is an entity where there is no mutual respect between the indigenous people because of that diversity. We could not manage that diversity. We are saying that that is an entity where we don't even trust the next person. So you only your own tribal man, you want him to be the one in power, to control power. How about others? So when others are in power, you complain. When it is your own person, you say, oh, let us support. Is that how to develop the country? That is why we are where we are. And what we are asking for is not who becomes president of Nigeria. What we are saying is that union is not working. That project is failed. It's a failed project. Let's go back to the drawing board. Let's go back to who we were before the British came and forced us together. So that everybody can map out a roadmap to their own future.
Yeah.
You understand? That is exactly what we are saying at the moment. So for anybody saying, let's give it to you, we have no business with who the president of Nigeria is. What we are saying is We have every opportunity and we have a right to self-determine our future and not and not gamble with it, with anybody or with the politics of Nigeria. We are not interested in the politics of Nigeria. We are interested in self-determination to be able to say what our future will be politically and economically. Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you so much to the caller. And again, I'm not here to force my opinion on anybody. Oh yes, I am a voice. I'm a voice because I put my life at risk for what I'm doing. But I'm not going to sit here and say, because I want to make some people feel comfortable. Torí pé kíni? Èmi lèmi mọ̀ tẹ́mi fara gbà in the last 3 years. And you are comfortable because nobody knows you. But what we are saying is that àwọn kan jà fún self-determination. Tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé kò ń ṣe self-determination là ń jà fún. Ẹ jẹ́ ká kúkú close gbogbo chapter yẹn ká dẹ̀ máa wòran gbà yẹn. It's two different movements. In tó ń jà fún ni self-determination. Ọ̀nà táwọn fẹ́ gbà ó yàtọ̀ sọ́nà táwọn fẹ́ gbà. Tó bá jẹ́ armed struggle làwọn fẹ́ lò ní. That's what they feel is comfortable for them. Ẹ̀gbọ́n sókè.
Hello.
À ń gbọ́ yín sà.
Ẹ ṣe tẹ pè mí padà o. Mi ò mọ̀ pé mo níyì tó báyìí.
Ẹ̀gbọ́n sókè.
Hello. Mo gbádùn analysis bàbá tó sọ̀rọ̀ tán yẹn. Tẹ́lẹ̀ tó máa ń pe Nàìjíríà ní SUU, VAT, understatement ni. Jungle nílùú yẹn. Tí o ti nǹkan kò ti work tí o sì system táwọn wèrè kan tún lọ tó kí wọ́n bọ́nú government treasury tán tó ra kà fún ara wọn. Nílùú tó jẹ́ pé 90% of their citizens cannot afford to spend up to $1 per day. Roscoe, àwọn tí wọ́n ń condemn yíbo orí wọn ò pé tán bá ní àròjinlẹ̀ ni. Ẹ mọ̀ pé ẹ̀yà nínú 3 major tribes ta ní nílùú yẹn, ẹ̀yà kan ṣoṣo because of the backing of all these stupid colonialists. Ẹ̀yà kan yẹn ló ń fìyà jẹ àwọn ẹ̀yà tó kù, ẹ̀yà méjì tó kù. Tẹ́ bá wo percentage ẹ̀yà tó nínú àwọn major 3 tribes tó wà ní Nàìjíríà, àwọn major tribes tó travel nínú ẹ̀yà mẹ́ta yẹn, ẹ̀yà méjì ni, which is Igbo and Yoruba. Ẹ get?
Yeah.
Ẹ ló tẹ̀sí wà ń bẹ̀.
À ń gbọ́ yín loud and clear, mo fẹ́ interrupt ni.
So ẹ̀yà méjì ló ń jáde síta látijọ́ tí mo ti wà l'Amẹ́ríkà, Hausa tí mo pàdé, Brown University ni mo ti pàdé ẹ̀, ó wá kàwé ni. Ó wá ka ìwé ni. Ó wá kàwé ń bí ni. Lásà tí mo bá pàdé ní bíbá yìí. So gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ń sọ pé yíbo ṣe kinní kan, a ní ẹ̀jẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ tẹ̀, ẹ̀jẹ̀ a ní ìdí alliance ẹ̀yin méjèèjì tí wọ́n ti fẹ́ fi àjẹyé pa yìí. Tẹ̀ méjèèjì kẹ̀tẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ tẹ̀ ra yín lọ́wọ́. Àǹkọ̀dẹ̀ sí ni. Tẹ́ bá ti tẹ̀ kẹ̀tẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ exit. Tẹ́ bá exit ìlú tí ò nítumọ̀ yẹn, Nàìjíríà ò nítumọ̀. Nàìjíríà ò nítumọ̀ ẹni tí ló lè ṣẹlẹ̀ ní máa ń sọ fáwọn àbúrò mi pé má sórí jọ́nì tí bá pa ẹ́ pọ̀ láwọn ẹni tó lè pa ẹ́ lọ́ra yàgò fún wọn ni o bìkọ́ tó bá pa ẹ́ wọ́n pa ẹ́ pé ni o wọ́n máa ná investigate. Bá mi ṣe kí ẹgbọ́n kankan pa bá mi ṣe máa báyìí. Àgbọ̀n kankan fún báyìí. Ọ̀rọ̀ báyìí tó kú mùsíṣẹ́ àtòkú yẹn ẹ̀jẹ̀ ó sì ń gbóná díẹ̀díẹ̀ ni ẹ̀rí bó ti rọ̀ lára wọn báyìí. Tí nǹkan bá ṣẹlẹ̀ ló máa gbóná girigirigiri lẹ́yìn ìgbà yẹn báyìí ẹ gbàgbé ẹ̀. So the system can never work. Mo ti sọ fáwọn èèyàn mo ní ṣé bá tún ti ń bẹ Buhari pé kí Buhari máa padà bọ̀ báyìí. Mo ní ẹ má wọrí Tinubu yẹn tún ṣe máa bẹ̀ kó padà wá. Mo ní kò dẹ́ ṣe fọ́ọ̀tì Tinubu because ìlú yẹn kò sẹ́ni tó lè ṣe. Total disintegration ni. Total complete disintegration. Nǹkan regional government kò lè work mọ́, it's too late. I get regional government ò lè work mọ́ because we don't have those àwọn tí wọ́n ní integrity bí àwọn bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ àwọn bàbá Akíntọ́lá yẹn. Táwọn olórí burúkú tí wọ́n ń gẹ̀fìlà káàkiri ṣé àpábí olórí burúkú tó ẹni tó ní
corruption case pẹ̀lú EFCC tó tún di Senate president. Mo dẹ̀ máa ń sọ àwọn èèyàn fẹ́ gbọ́ ikú nìkan ló lè bá sọ lọ́rùn ewúrẹ́ àwọn ẹ̀sán wà tọ́jú àwọn politician yẹn. Ikú nìkan ẹ̀rí pé wọ́n unite gbogbo àwọn politician Nàìjíríà Hausa Yorùbá Igbo wọ́n unite because system yẹn fẹ́ fọ wọn. Ó fẹ́ fọ wọn kò fẹ́ fọ common Nigeria. Gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n dẹ̀ ń kọ̀ndẹ́mù àwọn Igbo pé kíní kankan wọ́n fẹ́ gbalẹ̀ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Mo sọ̀rọ̀ bá ọ̀rẹ́ mi kan lórí mo ní ẹ̀ Igbo fẹ́ gbalẹ̀ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ mo ní lọ sí Tinker Island kí n tó travel kúrò Nàìjíríà lọ sí Tinker Island lọ sí Wharf lọ wo population àwọn Hausa tó wà ń bẹ̀. Kó lọ wo population àwọn Hausa tó wà ní Tinker Island àwọn tó wà ní kí ló ti pè ní Wharf. Àwọn ní tẹ́ bá sẹ́ǹdì mọ́tò àwọn ló ń dìtámì iye tẹ́ máa gbà jáde. Àwọn ẹ̀yà méjì lọ ń ṣerú níta. Ẹ̀yà kan gbẹ̀rù lórí wọn nínú ilé. Àwọn sáà ni wọ́n ń dìtámì iye tí wọ́n máa gba mọ́tò. Last time ta sẹ́ǹdì mọ́tò, agbé mọ́tò mi ní 1,500. A jẹ́ tí àgí ìpínlẹ̀ tó máa gba mọ́tò lẹ́ will be something around 850. Orí omi ni mọ́tò wà tán ní mọ́tò ti di 2.5 million. Can you imagine? Sẹ́ẹ̀lú nìyẹn. So ẹ máa bẹ́tò lọ. Kò sí nǹkan tó bá nínú alliance with Igbo people. A ní kẹ́kẹ́ kọ́kọ́ wọ́n ní àrìnpọ̀ ejò ló máa ń fi kíní kan fìyà jẹ kíní kan méjò. Ẹ̀yin méjì tí yà ń jẹ papọ̀ yẹn. You need to come together and form alliance kẹ́kẹ́ kọ́kọ́ exist náà. The only problem ẹ wo gómìnà tó ṣe mọ̀ pé gómìnà Kano àbí gómìnà Maiduguri tó ti wá dé fáwọn kan ní ẹnujọ́ mẹ́ta ṣé sọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà kan nìyẹn. Prosqueki, is there any governor from Southwest?
So that kan tún lè máa
ló lè ṣe gómìnà lè máa ṣe marriage fún fáwọn èèyàn.
kan tún lè máa produce money.
Pẹ̀lú situation.
Ọtún máa produce money kan tún lè máa produce money. Ẹ ṣe gan ni.
Lọ́tún wá tún máa produce àwọn bastards tó máa tún di terrorist.
Tó máa di problems wa
lọ́nà.
lọ́nà.
Wọ́n pè terrorist sá. Àwọn tí wọ́n ń pe àwọn Yíbò ní terrorist they should go and watch Hamas ní October 7 bí wọ́n ṣe attack Israel.
Ẹ̀yin náà wòran tí yẹn.
Àwọn tó ń pè ní terrorist gidi nìyẹn.
Ẹ̀yin jẹ́ kájọ máa wòran.
So ẹ máa bẹ́tò lọ.
Ẹ ṣe gan ni.
Yorùbá tí ò bá ní àròjinlẹ̀ Yorùbá tó rí òbá pé ló máa náà èké sí pé ká ní alliance pẹ̀lú àwọn Yíbò. Ẹ jẹ́ lọ́rẹ̀ máa ní alliance pẹ̀lú wọn kájẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ exit náà that is the first thing. Ẹ máa bẹ́tò lọ kí n jẹ́ kẹ́lò bí sọ̀rọ̀ jàre.
Ẹ ṣe gan ni. Ṣe rí ẹdúṣọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀tẹ́ ń pè wá ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Tèmi ẹ máa wọlé láìpẹ́. Ìjáyàjáyà mo kí ẹ Martins mo ti gbé ẹ wọlé lẹ́ẹ̀kan mo mọ̀ pé bí a bá trẹ̀fì lọ́lẹ̀ ní so máa fún ẹ ní opportunity kó wọlé kó sọ̀rọ̀ bí fún àwọn other people as well. Ó yá gbóhùn sókè ní kíákíá torí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń pè láti ilé.
Ẹ kọ́lẹ̀ sá mo kí n sá ẹ kú ètò sá ẹ kú iṣẹ́ ìlú ẹ kú kò lè dá sá.
Mo ń bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ yẹn tẹ́ ń pè lórí call ẹ ṣe sùúrù láti Dallas ẹ ṣe sùúrù má sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́mọ ń gbọ́ ẹ̀ à ń bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ yín Tèmi.
Mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ méjì mo fẹ́ sọ
nípa
ọ̀rọ̀ bàbá Tinubu nǹkan tí èmi expect láti ọ̀dọ̀ bàbá Tinubu after the 8 months sọ kò ju pé bóyá kí bàbá sọ pé òun fẹ́ kúrò ń bẹ̀ kí bàbá wa sọ pé òkè NNPC o àwọn fẹ́ ta kó wá set up èèyàn kan again kó gbowó fún pé kó lọ rà á kàn ṣe bọ́ ṣe ṣe Dangote tí wọ́n kó gbogbo resources wa tọkọ lé lọ́wọ́ kíyẹn náà tún lọ ra NNPC.
ìyàn bí àwọn èèyàn nínú.
kan tó wá ṣe tán kan tún ní pé wọ́n tó fẹ́ ta CBN gan.
èwo tó ní kọ́ ta CBN.
èyí ò mọ̀ pé kò sí bùtì kankan tá a lè máa expect láti bàbá Tinubu ìmọ̀ yẹn. ẹlẹ́kejì àwọn tó lára wa ta jọ agitate tí nǹkan tí ò ṣe wọn
láti adjust kọ̀ọ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ ò ní pẹ́ promising
tí wọ́n sọ wípé wọ́n fẹ́ gba ìkó mọ́ wọn lọ́wọ́ ta ló fẹ́ gba ìkó mọ́ wọn lọ́wọ́ aṣọ fún wọn ti gbà yẹn
ọ̀dà wa lọ́hùn
wọn ò gbọ́ ta ló fẹ́ gba ìkó mọ́ wọn lọ́wọ́ Ìgbò tó bẹ́ẹ̀ mo ṣe ń sọ gbogbo ẹni mo fi ń sọ Ìgbò tó bẹ́ẹ̀ láti pé ó sọ pé òun fẹ́ àgbàdo kan lẹ̀ wọn ò yí ọ bóyá kì í sọ pé kò yí ọ bàbá kan
tàbí ìjà ló láti flatten kìíní because battery ti flat so àmọ́ ní láti flatten ẹ̀ so if not.
ẹtí ẹsẹ̀ kan síbi kan ẹ tó wá ń yọ ẹsẹ̀ padà pé ọmọ wa ní ẹja gbàgbé tí ẹja ṣe nìkan.
ó ti wà ń bẹ̀ nísìnyí ọmọ wa ti wà ń bẹ̀ nísìnyí kí o gbọ́
so
ọmọ
ọmọ
ẹni
wọn lè ti wà á dùn ẹjọ́ kí ni the same amount làjọ ń ra bọ́ ráìsì ń sìn the same amount làjọ ń ra pẹ̀tírọ̀ so gbogbo ọkọ̀ tá a rà sí títí wọn ò yàtọ̀ títí èmi náà ò yàtọ̀ òye kan làjọ ń rà wọ́n lè lówó jù mí lọ́dọ̀ wọn máa fi rà bọ́ àjọ ń jẹ wòtòwòtò yẹn ní ọ̀nà kò sí ọ̀nà kankan tó dáa mo mọ̀ pé àjọ ń gba ojú ọ̀nà tí ò dáa nísìn so àjọ wà ń bẹ̀ ni but kó yé wọn dáadáa ẹni tí ò bá tí ì ṣetán kó má darapọ̀ mọ́ sọ pé òun agitate fún anything tí ò bá tí ì ṣetán kì í ṣe pé kán máa sọ pé wọn agitate kán tó wá máa sọ pé ọmọ jẹ́ ká gbárùkù ti ọmọ wa kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ no going back ní ọ̀rọ̀ agitators no going back ní ọ̀rọ̀ mi ò fẹ́ sà.
ẹ ṣé gan ni bàbá wa Martins mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí i ṣe rí ẹ jẹ́ n kọ́kọ́ lọ sọ́dọ̀ brother mi Temi wọ́n ti ń pè látẹ̀ nǹkan ẹ má bínú ẹ̀ tẹ́ wà lórí Facebook ẹ̀kọ́ tí n bá charge iPad yẹn ó máa disconnect náà ni at some point so ẹ máa láti accept ẹ̀ tẹ́ bá fẹ́ máa rójú mi dáadáa ẹ lè lọ sí other platform mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa Koiki Media náà la ṣe wà lórí ètò ẹgbọ́n sókè alàgbà tó ń pè wá.
mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Koiki ẹ̀kálẹ́ gbogbo lé.
ilẹ̀ má ti ṣú lóòótọ́ kábíyàtẹ̀ ti fẹ́ ṣe 3 hours lágbára o ilẹ̀ gan ti ṣú báyìí ó yá ẹ̀gbọ́n sókè.
Tonight I want to kind of educate our people as to kí ni deal pẹ̀lú gangan because I don't think a lot of our generations understand the source of all this problem. One, we are fighting identity theft.
Hey, identity theft.
We are fighting identity theft. Now, ní generation tiwa, a pera wa ní Yorùbá. Yorùbá la pera wa as at this generation tawa wa. Historically, we were known for other names. And ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹni kankan ni àti látẹ̀dó. But as at this current timeline, ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ni abára wa àdẹ̀pẹ̀ra wa ní Yorùbá. Now, kí ni mo mean by identity theft? Àwọn ṣẹ́rí gbogbo rògbòdìyàn tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń rí tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Palestine àti Israel.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ẹ má rò bí a kò tàbá wa o. Àwa torí tiwa gangan lẹ ṣe ń rí gbogbo rògbòdìyàn tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yẹn.
Okay.
Other cause Bible only when there will be wars and rumors of war, when the Son of Man is about to return. Return tó ń wí yìí pé the Christ mind àti ńlájú àti ń jí ọpọlọ wa iye wa ti ń sọ ohun tó fi wá sí àti ń jí nínú ẹ̀. Now kí ni mo fẹ́ fàyọ nípa correlation Palestinian àti àwa Yorùbá? England declare Palestinian portion of land of Palestinian as a gift for the Jewish people to one in Europe because the Jewish control the central bank. On loan England ní World War. So ó dà pé England ò lè san gbèsè yẹn padà but England ní ọmọ ogun jagunjagun làwọn. So England wá declare pé kí gbogbo àwọn Jewish community tó wà ní Europe kó lọ settle sí ilẹ̀ tó wà ní Palestine ní ó fi di ẹni tó ń pera wọn ní Jews àbí Israelites. There was no such thing as that in that region many years ago. Now, kí ni correlation tìyẹn pẹ̀lú àwa? Fulani ló ń darí Nigeria. And gbogbo wa dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé Fulani was never part of the so-called geographical map of Nigeria. It was Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo. And we were separated by the rivers. Now, colonizer, wọ́n ti rí pé kò sí nínú àwa ẹ̀yà mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta tó máa gbọ́ sí àwọn lẹ́nu. Torí nígbà tó gbéjà wọn wá, aláàṣẹrú, àjà, fìtìfìtì, especially Yorùbá, agbọ́n, kò sí bó ṣe fẹ́ parọ́ àbí àṣemáṣe wọn tá máa gbà. Kí ni wọ́n wá ṣe? wọ́n pàpọ̀ pọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn ọba kankan wa wọ́n tà wá pé ó dáa kàkà káwọn kú gọ́ àwọn kúkú fi àwa ọmọ Yorùbá àwọn á fi ṣẹrú pẹ̀lú ilẹ̀ wa ní ìjà tá à ń jà dèní lẹ́nu. Now kí wá fast forward there sí the present time tá a wà yìí nsìn. What you are watching with Tinubu ọkàn fi Tinubu manage anger yín ni o. Tinubu is just managing the tempo and anger of the Yoruba people. Because ó yẹ kó ti escalate. Bọ́dẹ̀ ṣe ní consecutive times náà nìyẹn ẹ wáyé Abiola náà. How the whole world erupt regards Abiola. So ó fi ọmọ Yorùbá sí láti fi cool temper ẹ̀yin ẹ̀yà Yorùbá wọn fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ jí pátápátá. Torí tọmọ Yorùbá bá ta jí pátápátá ta fohùn ṣèkan pé ó da ilé yá kò sí mímì kan nínú gbogbo àgbáyé tó lè mì wá. Àṣírí tó dẹ̀ wà ń bẹ́ẹ̀ nìyẹn àwọn nǹkan táwọn baba ńlá wa dẹ̀ sílẹ̀ ó sì wà lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Àyè ìjà yẹn ò tí kàn wọ́n ni because ó máa kanlé akàn ara àta akàn ara lé. So ọ̀rọ̀ Mr. Tinubu they are just working for the empire. That's all it is and it is in plain sight. They try to make him instigate war against Niger, Oshoju Boboa, so that they can wipe off his corruption in America. They would only put someone who is going to do their bidding in power to manage the entity called Nigeria. I am not Nigerian. I am what is called Omo Oluwabi, Omo Yoruba. I do not identify as Nigeria. Nigeria is an entity. And Tabangbo Kinyo Kilongpe entity. Entity is a business corporation. And we, Omo Yoruba, Omo Alade, we are being traded as stocks. Belulewa. Everything. Now, Central Bank, Central Bank, it's owned by who they call Rothschild. All the central banks in the world is controlled by them. And these central banks, they are also called entity. It's not controlled by the government of your country. It dictates what it wants. Your country borrows money from that corporation. Kí ni mo fẹ́ fà yọ ń bẹ̀? Wọ́n wá tún mú ọmọ Fúlàní, wọ́n fi champion historical person tá a mọ̀ pé ó ní wọ́n pè ní the richest man in Africa then, which is Mensa Musa. So for our own historical timeline, ta ló wá fún ní title yẹn, ó gbé fún Dangote. The same empire, they empower him to use the corporation called Central Bank that was created in your country, looting your country. They use him as the forefront to gain the resources of your country and control the resources of your country. So you are being enslaved by the same empire that you think gave you independence but never did. So how do we get out of this mess? First, we have to renounce the so-called entity Nigeria. We don't need the governors of each state to do that for us. The people's voice supersedes the governor's voice. Because after all, with their fake democracy government that they put into a system for us, we can still use it against them by denouncing each governor of each state. How do we do that? We have to go through our old ways, go to our Obas. Now, we know we are fighting roadblocks. No Oba is speaking up for the people anymore. Well, as far as I'm concerned, he wants to hear the cries of the people. All I know is they are colluding and going to Abuja to answer to the same entity that is incorporating and enslaving Yoruba and the entire Nigerian people. Mori Ijati Kiloshenpe Aomo Ibonja was the name of their lead to one abroad in Austria.
Simon Ekpa.
Now, I don't know what kind of allegiance he has signed to. He is carrying the same flag which is terrorizing. Yes, Simon Ekpa is carrying the same flag that is terrorizing Nigerians at the moment, which controls our central bank, is flagging it with Biafran flag, which is the Israel flag. And Israel, at the same time, is committing heinous international criminal acts in Palestine, killing women, children, genocide happening in real time. Now, allegiance to not signing here, perhaps he might have a good conscience to want to free his people, but not knowing his alignment might be wrong. I'm not saying the people that call themselves the Israelites are bad people, but the entity that calls itself government, as at this point, is a criminal government. And they are committing genocide supported by England and America. They are supplying the bomb to bomb innocent kids, children. Now, Netanyahu to be president, in 2019, this is in public domain. He supported Hamas himself. He financed Hamas himself. That Hamas is a corporation that they have to keep going because they needed him to do, or I say him, the entity body called Hamas. They needed them to do what they did on October 7th to give them the reason to go and claim the entire land, Palestine. So you are watching ethnic cleansing happening. So Tori Awon Nilewa Sherun Koba and Lori Letiwa, or let me say they are leaving it to the last minute. They have given that bidding to the Fulanis because they are closer in skin to us. So our assigned project the ethnic cleansing of Yoruba and Igbo people to the Fulani people to do their bidding. Ti Agbara Fulani Obaka, which is the divide and rule that they always play. So they are playing that card at the moment, divide and rule. So Tagbara Fulani Obaka, if it back parawade, Toroba do Juja, Takoju Sirawa, if it ku, you now see them coming in full force. That you are recolonizing physically. But they are doing it through those that are called gatekeepers at the moment, which are your Tinubus, your entire governors. Why do you see them flying over to Europe every now and then? Say our lower special buying. It's only because they are doing the bidding of the colonizer. Once they stop doing that bidding, you will see them being tried in places like ICC. Your person like Tinubu will be taken back to America to answer to the crime he has committed. But at the moment, he's still doing their bidding indirectly. Ask me how. At the moment, he's still borrowing loan. And me, I have problem with these loans. This loan is something we are not going to be able to pay back. Hence, you are watching the devaluation of the Naira. They will devalue Naira to the extent that 1 Naira would almost be equal to 10,000 Naira. 1 pound would be equal to 10,000 Naira. So how are you ever going to pay a debt of such with inflation factored into those debts? So you are going to enter perpetual debt, which is forever and ever debt. And why do they want that? Because of the resources in it, all you are going to remain is slaves working and paying tax to the entity called the central bank and the British establishment. So to narrow it down and summarize, Ija identity Olanja and Feki Omo Yoruba, OG throughout gbogbo àgbáyé, gbogbo atrocity that you commit against you, ẹ̀yin lẹ wà nínú Bible, ẹ̀yin ló fi kọ Bible, ẹ̀yin ló send sí gbogbo àgbáyé tó ship yín káàkiri. You are the only person that genocides have been committed upon that's never been heard of on this planet. And you are here negotiating and discussing how we are going to claim our land back. Say, Awakolo Yakama Jalosi Governor Office, Gani, each of you, your job is done. We, the people of Yoruba, we've had enough of entity ruling over us. After all, you vote them in every 4 years. Do they ever do anything to favor you as a Yoruba person? Never. They will never do that because the money they are borrowing is called money laundering. You borrow it from the central bank. It makes its way back to the Europeans through your governors going to invest the same money in their own economy, in the European economy, and buying land and buying corporations there. They will never spend that money on your land because that money doesn't belong to you. So, in a nutshell, let's stop discussing this online. First, let's go to the organizations that call themselves the ruling powers and denounce ourselves as Nigeria. We start with that and make sure the entire world knows that we do not call ourselves Nigeria anymore. So Tabakwe Nigeria, Talofe rule Lelori. We didn't appoint them as Yoruba leader. So we are going back to face our Obas. Toba said, Toba call, Melo Aluma law exile. If you can't do what the will of the people is, they go to exile. And we need those that need to act. Chief Sunday Igboho, is the only man I see standing for the Yoruba people at the moment. And Professor Banji Akitoye, Babadada, they are the only people speaking for the Yoruba at the moment. And Igboho alone cannot do it. He needs the youth along as well. So we need to bolster all this talk online, put our foot on ground, start going to school. Yoruba land, we need to wake up our people. Enough of Fulani succeeding our land. We are not in a good relationship with Fulani at the moment. We can't be smiling with them. Give them ultimatum. Let them go back. Thank you very much.
Wow, that is a very, very powerful one from a brother here. Let's go straight to the next caller. Hello, Etwa. Mute the background. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Mute it, I think, but one in lay. The bank pay mute it, I think, but one in lay. Mama confused around here. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello, quick,
go ahead.
I'm
going loud and clear.
Hello, Sangami.
Go ahead. We can hear you.
Oh, good. Mr. Koiki, please, I beg you in the name of God, don't let anybody keep you. That is number one. Number two, don't let anybody use, words to blackmail you. Now, if you go on X, there are some Yoruba boys. These are guys, there are like 4 or 5 of them like that. They came, these guys saying they are for Yoruba. But unfortunately, these guys, they are APC paid agents that were working for Tinubu and APC underneath. Now, they are the one that has been trying all their possible bets to divert our attention to make us see the Igbos as our enemies. The truth is, Igbos are not our enemies at all. And you see, it got teaching in mathematics, growing up was negative, like the enemy of your enemy should be your friend. The friend of your enemy should be your enemy. The friend of your friend is your friend, and the friend of your enemy, is your enemy. And these guys don't mean well for the Yoruba nation of people. They are working for their own food. They are working for their own money. So this issue of okay, that's why people you sold your land to them. They bought it with your money. Now, okay, that's why but you want one Nigeria. How do we separate ourselves if we don't break out from one Nigeria first? So why are they so deceitful? Now, number 2, let me tell you, Mr. Koiki, if we don't go down home, our people are already oppressed. They can't stop, they can't do anything. They have been afflicted. There is no way. They just need a leader, somebody that can lead them for that revolution. Leaders, all Yoruba leaders, all Yoruba pastors and Jews. Look at what is happening in Israel and Palestine. One job, Pastor Adeboye, that used to go to Redeem was at Jew, until I came to America and realized àwọn pípù yìí business nìkan tó wá sí pásọ Adébóyè ọmọ Ọ̀ṣun state ni o ọmọ Tẹ̀wàrà ni o láti jọ ìta ti ń pààyàn tá a ti ń jà fún Yorùbá nation tá a ti ń pààyàn Fúlàní fẹ́ gbalẹ̀ wa Fúlàní pààyàn àwọn criminal wọ́n jẹ́ ọmọ jọ́jẹ̀ ó sọ ọlọ́kọ̀ọ́sọ́ kankan o Israel àti kìlẹ̀tì ìjà ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́rẹ́ ìjà àti kò sí ìjọba kan ti sẹ́ni tàbí àbí Islam ń gbẹ́ o they are fighting for their occupation náà jà fún o ó sáré tẹ́sí ta wọ́n give you praise release we are praying for Israel kìnìkan we are supporting them. Can you imagine that level of slavery and colonization? And these are the people that respect our fathers and Lord, our kìnìkan. They are as ignorant as everybody. So gbogbo àwọn èmi ní pásọ Adébóyè yẹn èmi ní gbogbo àwọn Afẹ́nifẹ́re èmi làwọn ẹ̀dá àtàwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ yẹn out of the abundance of their ignorance wọ́n ti máa kọ́ wa tẹ́lẹ̀ náà ti sọ̀rọ̀ fún wa. That is the problem that we are having. Wọ́n sì lọ́dún iṣẹ́ ìlànà mo tẹ̀lé pé ọmọ àwọn tí kò yí gan òyì òyì àwọn gan. That is the problem that they are having with this. So mo fi ọlọ́run bẹ̀rẹ̀ pé please don't let them go. You are doing a great and fantastic job. You are doing it. Nigeria, whether they like it or not, Oshima definitely. And I like what Samuel Ekpa is doing. Samuel Ekpa, that guy, I wish you could have somebody that will support you, that will be like Samuel Ekpa. That Samuel Ekpa, I like that guy. The guy that fire on the bumbo. When people say it's just political rules, just to calm tension down. People need to come out. Why do they come out? Everybody is scared. What if they be power? What if they are suffering? So please, I'm begging you to name of God. Don't let anybody come. So that is what they are doing. They are not talking about Fulani to get our major problem because Fulani will not balance. They will rather kill you and market you and take your land, and there's nothing you can do. If you take the case to the police station, the police will rather arrest you and leave them. It has always been. And the question I want to ask the pro-Nigeria people is, say, who came into power? What has changed? That is the question for them. What has changed? Yes, their lives are getting more worse. So consider that you are great and fantastic, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, we've done 3 hours. We have 3 hours with the program. I think I have 2 more calls that have come through. I'm going to return one of the calls. 2 of the caller rather. Charge the device. Let's see if this caller is still on the other side watching us. All right, they are not seems to be there. Let's go straight to the next one. It's been a long evening as well. Okay, Jaya, hello caller, Egbon's okay. I'm going here, Kale.
Hello.
I'm going to say Kale, sir.
Ètò
nìyẹn.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni sà ẹ̀kú ètò kan ṣẹ́rí gbogbo àṣàrò ọ̀fẹ́ ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ètò yìí mo ti ń fọ́lò. Mo láìkì ìkẹsẹ̀ ìṣe ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ gan-an. Ọ̀sẹ̀ kankan ẹyọ kan ni mo fẹ́ béèrè bóyá ẹ lè dàbí lóhùn. Ìgbà wo ṣé 4 years ni ká dúró dè ní how many months how many years?
That is subject to when all Yoruba people are ready.
Diplomacy.
That is subject to subject to when every Yoruba is ready. Subject to when we are ready. Àtẹ̀mí, àtẹ̀yìn, àtẹ̀ntó wà nílé, àtẹ̀ntó wà níta. That's all. That is subject to when we are ready. Tàbá fẹ́ gba Yorùbá nation lálẹ́. Tàbá fẹ́ lè fẹ́ anybody ní time because nígbà tí ẹni sùúrù sà máa jẹ́ kẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀. Nígbà tí 3 years ago kó tẹ̀ tó di pé èmi àti olóyè Ìgbòho line wa connect mo ti sọ pé ọ̀nà báyìí la fẹ́ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀mi ṣe rí àwọn èèyàn dẹ̀ sọ pé ọ̀nà yẹn kọ́ ló máa ń gbà a máa ń ṣe ní ọmọlúàbí ni nígbà tá a tún pàdé olóyè tún bá wa gbé ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn sókè ó fún wa ní 7% ní gbogbo tá à ń wá 3% tó kù àwọn tó kù tó jẹ́ 3% yẹn we could have done what needs to be done. And that would have meant that Yoruba nation would have still been ọ̀rọ̀ wálé ẹ̀kọ́ máa sọ ní United Nations lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà rẹ̀ kó wà nínú tébù throughout àná títí dàárọ̀ yìí United Nations General Assembly Security Council ni mò ń gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà ló yẹ kó máa sọ brother mi tó pè tán lẹ́ẹ̀kan kó tó di pé lè pè tó ní pé intan ṣe ni pé wọ́n tún gbé Tinubu wá láti fi slow down problem yẹn so question tẹ́ ń béèrè pé ṣọ́dún mẹ́rin ni ṣọ́dún mẹ́ta ni èmi ò lè answer yẹn when everybody is ready we will know what to do àwa ń campaign lọ ni so ẹ jẹ́ kí n fún iláyè kí n tún continue tẹ́ fi bá mi sọ mò ń gbọ́ yín sà.
ẹ̀mọ́ kan tó ṣe é pé mo gbogbo everything náà lè náà follow lọ nígbà tí mo wà ní ìjà kó tó tó kó tó kúrò jẹ́rìí ó wà òkè bẹ́yẹn okay our youth ìgbà wo ni ká fún àwọn bàbá Akíntóyè ní àyè dá.
In what ways?
Bàbá our youth ìgbà wo ni ká fún àwọn bàbá ní àyè dá.
In what àyè dàbí ti báwo ẹni sùúrù ẹni àyè fún kí ni kò tí understand.
Àwọn bàbá náà kàn fẹ́ lo diplomat ìṣẹ́tù ìpín gba Yorùbá nation fún wa. Diplomat yẹn ìgbà wo ni ká fún wọn láyè dá kan lo diplomat yẹn dá. Tó dà mọ̀ pé diplomat yẹn ò lè wọ́ọ̀kì yẹn. Bọ́ọ̀bà sì pa politician bíi mẹ́wàá sí 20.
But ẹni sùúrù ọ̀rọ̀ pé ẹni sùúrù àwọn ń ṣe violent lórí bíbá gbogbo ẹnu pé ọ̀pá politician ẹni tó bá fi pa politician lè lọ àwọn ọ̀sán yẹn ní bíbá tí àsìkò bá tó àti ọmọ apá politician o àbá nípa politician o tásìkò bá tó kò yẹ yín nísìn gbogbo wa máa mọ tó yẹ ká ṣe ẹ ní láti ṣe máa wá sórí social media ká máa ní ẹ erígbà tá a bá pa politician lè fẹ́ pa a ní láti pa politician tá a bá mọ tó yẹ ká ṣe lálẹ́ Yorùbá nation máa jáde ẹni bàbá Akíntóyè ò ní sọ gbogbo tèmi ń sọ ẹ má expect bàbá kó jáde kó máa sọ̀rọ̀ èmi ń sọ̀rọ̀ as an independent media ni èyí tèmi dẹ́ sọ kò sẹ́ni kankan tó lè mú mi sí fact ni mo sọ fún yín ìyàwó sọ pé violent là ń ṣe ní bíbá but everybody tó bá ní làákàyè tó ní ọgbọ́n inú tí a dẹ̀ ń sọ fún pé ìrìn àjò yìí o ìrìn àjò tí kò lọ́jọ́ ni but tá a bá fẹ́ jẹ́ kí ọjọ́ yẹn kó súnmọ́ ṣèbí wọ́n ti ní mo sọ̀rọ̀ tututututututu ṣèbí nǹkan tó ń sọ nìyẹn àbí so mo dẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ tutututu mọ́ nísìn nígbà tí mo sọ fún wa pé ká má ṣe election ká stop election tó bá yẹ pé a ti stop election yẹn ni ọ̀rọ̀ wa lọ́mọ máa sọ nísìn ní United Nations General Assembly nínú United Nations General Assembly yẹn nísìn ṣe mọ̀ pé tí bá ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí nísìn wọ́n ì tí lè pass any resolution kankan nítorí pé wọ́n ń lo veto power bí America ṣe ń lò ní Russia ń lò bí Russia ṣe ń lò ní China ń lò bí China ṣe ń lò ní UK àti US ń lò wọ́n ń fi agbára ranra wọn ní United Nations when humanity is dying so táwa náà bá ti ready we will do what we need to do bí àṣà mọ́mí mi ṣe sọ ní bíbá ìyá mi mọ̀ jí wọ́n ní when you people are ready you will come out when you come out Baba Akíntóyè will not tell you not to act Baba Akíntóyè máa sọ pé diplomacy ni which is the right thing to say you want Baba Akíntóyè to come out and be telling you ẹ máa dàrú ni ṣé àwọn Baba Akíntóyè náà nígbà tí wọn ẹ lọ bí bàbá yẹn máa ń sọ nígbà tí wọn kọ́ ni wọ́n ṣe gbogbo ọ̀nà wẹ̀tẹ̀ àbí nǹkan kan ṣé nígbà yẹn ta ló sọ fún àwọn Baba Akíntóyè pé kọ́ máa ṣe wẹ̀tẹ̀ ẹ ti understand nísìn so ẹ má yẹ ká máa wá fún lára wa tá a bá ti wá gbogbo pé a máa pààyàn yẹn ẹ nílò láti sọ gbogbo yẹn ìtẹ́ bá fẹ́ ṣe lẹ́yìn fúnra ara yín ẹ lè ṣe mò ń gbọ́ yín.
àbọ̀rọ̀ la máa sọ fún ọmọ ìlú
so a ní láti máa wá fi gbogbo a máa ṣe kinní kan mọ́ a nídìí yẹn a ti sọ yẹn ní 3 years ago nígbà tá a bá bọ́ sórí M1 everybody go know wetin go happen ẹ tí ì bọ́ sórí M1 a ṣe wà lórí A40 lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ traffic dẹ̀ wà lórí A40 a dẹ̀ mọ̀gbà tí traffic yẹn máa tán so ìyẹn kan wá kí lẹ fẹ́ lọ pa politician ní láti pa politician tá a bá réyàn 1 million tó bá jáde sójú títì nísìn gbogbo táwọn sọ yóò máa lójútùú bẹ́ẹ̀ tí fẹ́ jáde because ebi ò tí ì pa yín èbí mi ti jẹ iṣu tí mo jẹ nísìn ló ṣì wà níkùn mi wọ́n tún bẹ̀ mí pé kí wọ́n jẹ talẹ́ nísìn mo tún ní kọ́ ṣe sùúrù díẹ̀ so ebi ò tí ì pa gbogbo wa tébi bá pa wá àyà sí títì ẹmí ti tinúlé ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Kọ́ládé ẹmí ti tinúlé tẹ fi ń gbọ́ mi ẹ̀ ń confuse ara yín ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ tinúlé ẹ̀ tún gbọ́ ti orí fóònù ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ mute tinúlé tẹ bá ti ń pè wá èmi náà wo ra mi báyìí mo mute ẹ̀ so when you're calling ẹ bá wa mute tinúlé that's the only way we can hear you so ó dà ń pẹ́ ẹnìkan náà dẹ̀ ní the last person jẹ́ ń pè Mr. Razak tabashiwara àìsí ready as far as I'm concerned. Kí ni ẹ̀gbọ́n mi market master sọ wọ́n ní the Yoruba people never wanted to be in Nigeria contraction and we still don't want it. We don't want to be in Nigeria but yet we are à ń fi sentiment sí gbogbo wa là ń fi sentiment sí ẹ̀ ń fi sentiment Tinubu kí ni kàn wá pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ Tinubu àti test the ground gan sef àgbẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ test the ground Tinubu fúnra rẹ̀ gan sef who is Tinubu a gbọ́dọ̀ test the ground ọ̀run yabọ̀ ni so but the problem is ẹ fẹ́ mú gbogbo ẹ̀ papọ̀ àwa kan náà la fi bá àwọn Biafra a fi bá wọn jà àwa kan náà la fi kúrò ní Nàìjíríà àwa kan náà la fi fẹ́ dúró sínú Nàìjíríà what do we want kí la fẹ́ gangan and if not I'm a di political Yorùbá political analyst ìtẹ̀fẹ́ ká máa ṣe nìyẹn there's nothing wrong in that a máa fún yín ní gbogbo tips in tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ wọ́n pààyàn nísìn mo ti rí àwọn mídíà mi tó ti ń fún mi ní signal ọ̀fẹ́ ṣe program fún ìwé eléré gọ́fúnà ń gba 500 million naira àárí kankan ṣe sí tó bá jẹ́ pé a serious ni ẹnu ọ̀nà gọ́fúnà ní gbogbo máa lọ dúró sí mọ́tò kankan jáde nínú bẹ̀ mọ́tò kankan wọlé in tó bá fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ ní kó ṣẹlẹ̀ but ẹ̀ ń wẹ́n tó máa fi gbogbo ẹnu sọ̀rọ̀ àbí so that kẹ́ lè máa cut ibẹ̀ yẹn ìyẹn lẹ fẹ́ máa cut ẹ fẹ́ kẹ́mi máa sọ̀rọ̀ kẹ́ máa cut yẹn ìyẹn lẹ́ ń wá àbí ẹ máa dúró mo sọ fún yín pé tẹ́yìn bá ti ṣe tán 72 hours èmi àti yín lájọ máa wà nísàlẹ̀ it's as simple as that but the question is what everybody wants is ẹ̀ ń wẹ́n tó máa fi sweet talk èmi ò dẹ̀ ní sweet talk mo fi fún anybody because I have put myself in the line of duty and mo mọ tí mo gbé dání èmi mọ tẹ́nibọ̀dì gbé dání ntẹ́mi gbé dání nìkan lèmi mọ̀ ntí bàbá kí tó gbé dání mo mọ̀ ntí gbòó gbé dání mo mọ̀ but àwọn méjèèjì yẹn ó ní bí a ṣe máa ṣe you want bàbá Akíntóyè to be coming out and be saying bàbá Akíntóyè o kó wá ṣe live video ẹ̀yin kò mọ Yorùbá yẹ bọ́ sí títì àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ẹ̀ ń dúró kí gbòó wá sọ pé ká bọ́ sí títì gbogbo wa ni Ìgbòho gbogbo wa ni bàbá Akíntóyè nígbà tó bá ń rúgbó àwọn tó jẹ kó máa ṣe diplomacy a máa pariwo diplomacy àwọn tí kò yẹ ká ṣe diplomacy a máa báṣẹ lọ and if that is not the case then a máa ṣe political analysis tá à ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ which is the Yorùbá nation a máa ṣàlàyé fúnra wa but for me nobody can change the narrative bá fẹ́ bá kọ̀ we can put a stop to it through pressure cooker with negotiation. Nobody's coming anywhere. The West is not ready to allow Nigeria to be dismantled. So, ẹni tó send the message sí wa ayde pé mo fẹ́ lọ ka message yẹn lẹ́ẹ̀kan tá a ṣe analysis ẹ̀ bọ́dọ̀ wà. Ó ti refreshing. Mo pé so ẹni tí ó send message yẹn kákọ̀ tún sáré brief ẹ̀ àti sọ̀rọ̀ púpọ̀ lórí ti Biafra yẹn so I'm gonna move swiftly. Ó ní àwa Yorùbá with Yorubas who are benefiting from Nigeria holding the Yoruba nation hostage. The Biafra are well planned on all fronts. Biafra are even boldly laying claim to 1/4 of Ondo State and half of Kogi State. Gbogbo yẹn can be resolved. Tó bá yẹ pé lótìtọ́ ni, there's no doubt about it. Shame on all of us, 60 million. Same shame has started just as during the slave trade. It took the morals of the white, Oyinbo people, I'm saying you like your language, buying the slaves to stop slave trade. Biafra has stated when independent, all Nigerian citizens living in Biafra will be granted automatic citizenship. One Yoruba will not do that. So I don't see any problem in that. The lórí Tinubu wọ́n ní Aláàfin sọ pé Tinubu wẹ́ tó bá di president ó máa dàbí president the clerk of South Africa láti dismantle the problem that is called Nigeria. Ìyẹn rẹ̀ la fi ṣàkọlé ètò. Ṣé Tinubu lè dismantle Nigeria? I don't think we were able to see a resolution to that. So I don't think everybody agree that Tinubu will dismantle Nigeria. Mo rò pé èèyàn kan sọ pé Tinubu lè dismantle Nigeria ní tí mo kàn gbọ́ ni pé kò lè ṣe bí àwọn kan wá lè sọ pé ó lè ṣe I will leave that to you gbogbo àná làjọ ń wo calm down báyìí then the same thing pé Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀ Ọ̀jájá the second kábíyèsí wọ́n ní kí Tinubu set up the dismantle of Nigeria, a 18-month plan. This is just somebody giving his own advice, so it's not literally coming from Yoruba Nation, leaders or whatever. Can send the list as an email. So I just thought, we put it out there, and you can also send yours, and I'll read it out if we have the time. So, Lutoba Rishi, he will be the best Yoruba man, but Tinubu is working for the West. So, Russia. New Yoruba government must learn from the former governor Fashola. Okay. Lesson about defending the potential Yoruba borders. Two-party state forever in Yoruba land. Yoruba kings should veto in the House of Kings. So anyway, I got to go now because it's 3 hours and I've gone past my normal time. When you see us, you see us again. Thank you so much, everyone that have joined the program throughout. I think we should play the anthem. So, what do you want? Well, I'm going to finish in a minute, okay? Bye-bye, please. So I'm going to play anthem, Kade Malole, so Kale Pari Etoyi.
Ọlọ́run ni mo ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ fún ẹ o gbogbo nǹkan tọ́nà fún bàbá mi láyé bàbá mi ò tí ì yọ̀ǹda mẹ́sàn-án fún mi ń bẹ̀ ó kọ̀ mí ju ti bàbá mi lọ. Ìgbò àti Bọ́lá mo lọ sí mọ bàbá mi ojúmọ̀ òní mọ́kàn mọ́ dàkọ̀ mi níbi kan àyídà kẹ́ sọ́n dáadáa tàbí kẹ́ sọ́n burúkú ẹ̀ sàásọ̀ kan omi lọ́lọ́run fún bí n bá sì kú ẹ̀ lè gbà sí mi sí.
So bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn ó yá Tinubu wọn náà gbóhùn sókè.
wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ epo àwọn á di 200 á di ẹ fọkàn balẹ̀ a máa gbé wálẹ̀. ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀ ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀ ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀.
Wọ́n ti ní kẹ́ fọkàn balẹ̀ sọ ẹ fọkàn balẹ̀ ó yá ilé náà.
Wọ́n ní pé ènìyàn ṣe bí Ọlọ́run ọba wọ́n ní kò lè pọ̀ sí ibò àmọ́ wẹ́rẹ́wẹ́rẹ́ bàbá bá mi ṣe wọ́n ní bí ó sì àwọn ìpè kò lè pọ̀ sí ọ̀rọ̀ ìṣù wẹ́rẹ́wẹ́rẹ́ o bàbá bá mi ṣe wọ́n ní kò sáyé ló kọ́ ayé ọgbọ́n wọ́n ní pé ènìyàn ṣe bí Ọlọ́run ọba wọ́n ní kò lè pọ̀ sí ibò
wẹ́rẹ́wẹ́rẹ́
bàbá bá mi ṣe wọ́n ní bí ó sì àwọn ìpè kò lè pọ̀ sí ọ̀rọ̀ ìṣù wẹ́rẹ́wẹ́rẹ́ o bàbá bá mi ṣe wọ́n ní kò sáyé ló kọ́ ayé
ọlọ́àbàndúró ti olóyè Ìgbòho kọ́lọ́n wà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ and on that note àníri jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ lórí ètò tiwa ó tún di ìgbà tá a bá tún rí Koiki Media. Enjoy the rest of the day. Mo kí yín gbogbo yín, mo kí ọmọdé, mo kí àgbàlagbà, mo kí gbogbo yín tẹ́ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. It is AY King, mo kí ẹ ń bẹ̀, mo kí gbogbo àwọn Koiki Media team, mo kí ẹ̀yin grandma, gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa. Ẹni tó bá tún wò náà ẹ bá wa pín sí ibi tó yẹ kó pín sí. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin platforms káàkiri. Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Orun ayọ̀ la máa sùn. Bye for now. Ọba Elédùmarè á wà pẹ̀lú wa. What God cannot do does not exist. Yoruba nation, inshallah. Yoruba nation, Lashedumare. Yoruba nation, in Jesus' name. And on that note, bye for now. Dizzy man, Muriembe, Mukia to Bimilomo, Mukia Bakito Ilenkansi, Ati.
Ipò ẹ̀tọ́.
iṣẹ́ tá gbé dání, it takes a lot of sùúrù. Kọ́lọ́n túbọ̀ fún mi ní sùúrù díẹ̀. Ẹ ṣé gan ni gbogbo wa. Thank you so much, all our listeners on the Twitter space. We appreciate you as well. And on that note, a very, very good night. Bye for now.